Hey geeks, do you love comics, collectibles, and TCG? Well, here at Cardboard Cave, we have the place for you. Pass by Kapitan Granuja Comics and Games and find all your favorite geeky items there. Look for them at Facebook or Instagram or call them at 787-659-7003. A store blessed by Nicole Bolas.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Cardboard Cave. I am a different host. I'm not John today. John hopefully will be here in time, but he's running a little bit late. But we'll start off, talking about the fact that you guys can follow us on YouTube at Cardboard Cave MTG. You can follow us on Facebook, and you can follow us on Twitch on Big Boss 117PR. If you guys have any questions, any concerns, we're going to be talking about the rest of the spoilers that we didn't get to talk about on Monday's episode because we didn't get to do the episode usually that we do on Saturday again because, we're adults and, we have lives and it's becoming a little difficult sometimes to coordinate these podcasts, but we're doing the best we can. Let's start with our panel of experts. We start off with JP. How are you, JP?
What's up, guys? What's up? I'm doing great.
Great, awesome, great.
Now we also have this little, this guest.
Oh yes, we have a special guest this time because if we're missing some people, we try to balance it out with some other people. So welcome, Carlos.
Hey everyone.
Hi. Carlos usually has been in commenting sometimes. He's a competitive player. He plays actually more standard than all of us combined in this podcast, which is great because then he can give us a more nuanced perspective in terms of some of these spoilers because we always have our brain for how can we abuse this in Commander and Cube. And then while we have Carlos being like, well, it's crap in Commander, but it's really good in Standard. So it'll be great to have that perspective going on.
We also have had Carlos in a few of our Commander episodes.
Oh yeah, of course. He's been in the Commander episodes with cancerous decks that I don't want to talk about because I hate all of them.
It's okay.
Okay, awesome, great. Okay, let's check. Okay, perfect. I got the right tab. Awesome. So let's talk about the ones that because we ended up talking up till March 29th.
Did we talk about Cody?
Cody? Okay, we can talk about Cody real quick.
I think this is the last one we didn't. I'm pretty sure we didn't cover this one.
Sure, let's.
Because I'm pretty sure I would have mentioned the similarity to Godos, and I don't remember that specifically.
Go ahead. Let's talk about Cody Vociferous Codec. It is a 3. It's a legendary artifact creature construct. It's our construct. We thought it was gonna be Karn or something, and it ended up being Cody. By the way, Emma Rock says, "Wepa, Emma." If you wanna talk about our Commander cards or Magic cards, by the way, invite other people to watch the stream with us so they can talk smack about Commander and Magic and Standard cards. Okay, so Cody Vociferous Codex is a 3 colorless costed card. It says you cannot cast permanent spells. And for 4 and tapping it, you add Warburg. When you cast your next spell this turn, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile an instant or sorcery card with lesser mana value. Until the end of your turn, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Put each other card exiled this way into the bottom of the library in a random order. It is a 1/4. So go ahead, JP. What do you want to talk about this card?
So. It was just something very interesting that this is like a fixed version of Cascade, and it's just based on instants and sorceries. You can cast all your specific utility cards like Jeskai Ascendancy. Jeskai Ascendancy reads whenever you cast a spell, you give all creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn, and you may untap a target creature.
Yep.
Or you untap all creatures, so that way you can pay 4, tap him, add 5 colorless. Cast a spell, Cascade, and he untaps because of the first spell. Then he untaps because of the second spell. You can also tap him again and keep on going. Another card that does that is Chakram Retriever. It's 4 and a blue for a 2/4. Whenever you cast a spell during your turn, untap target creature. Just you can make this little engine of having a few permanents, a few key permanents that just go off,
Yeah.
and you can just simply go off.
Mm-hmm.
Another way I found very funny is having basically no sorceries or instants, and having and so you assure you get that one card.
Yep.
Because if you have a lot of 3 mana sorceries and instants, and then you have to get a instant or sorcery card with lesser mana value, so you're assured that one card you need to just
Exactly.
go off and combo off.
Yeah, just like
It's
a
very
normal cascade deck, Yeah, definitely.
yeah. So it was just very interesting how the different avenues of value untapping or just full on combo with that one card.
Yeah. And just so you guys know, I mean, it's obvious for people who play Magic on a regular basis, but even though it says you can't cast permanent spells, if it's in the command zone, you can cast whatever the hell you want. So you can set up your board, so you can have your enablers on the board, and then when Cody comes around, you won't be able to cast permanent spells where you're going off, but you'll be able to cast all the instant sorceries that combo off while you're having your enablers on the floor. So you take that into consideration, because like when I read it first, I was like, damn, I can't like put any permanent spells. But I'm like thinking, no, stupid, you just set up everything you need. It's a 3-costed commander. Like you can just set up everything you need, and then when you're ready to go off, Cody right there, put like 1,000-year elixir and just literally go off on the spot. So you don't need to be limited by that regard. Carlos, you want to say anything about the Cody?
Yeah, I'm still trying to find a way so we can implement that card in standard, which, like you mentioned, is a very hard thing to do right now.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can create a way to use it and you can cast the ultimatums with it, you'll get a lot of value there.
Yeah. Although it'd be difficult because you need to like what's like bigger than an ultimatum.
Yeah, you'll have to cast something that
or smaller
goes with X. Yeah, it has to go X amount of mana that you could pay up for, and then you have to get it all the way up to at least 8, so you could cast the ultimatums, which costs like 7.
But then if you're doing that, you're already winning. Like at that point, if you're be able to cast something that costs 8, you have to be winning, or you have to be like that's
you gotta
that's
ramp
the
up
only
very fast. You gotta ramp.
Emma goes and says Cody's a sexy commander. I agree. Like the way it's constructed is obviously designed for a commander in mind, not too much for standard. It could be abusable maybe later on, but for now it's a fixed Golos, like JP said, and maybe that's a detriment to the card itself because it's not as abusable as Golos was back in the day. Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead to March 30th. You want to go one by? I'm gonna go with like the rares and mythics, honestly, because all the uncommons. Although this is a spicy one, even though it's in Japanese, we'll get to that. So let's start about Magma Opus. It's a 6 colorless and Izzet colors. For an instant, it's a mythic instant. It says Magma Opus deals 4 damage divided as you choose among any number of targets. Tap 2 target permanents, and then create a 4/4 blue and red creature token, and then finally draw 2 cards. If you choose not to do any of those things, you can pay split Izzet mana, so you can pay either red blue to discard Magma Opus, and then you can create a treasure token, which means like if you're early in the game and you just want to ramp a little bit and you have this card that has no purpose because it's 8 mana, you can choose to discard it instead, and then get a little treasure token to be able to cast other Izzet stuff later on. As I realized, it's probably more of an Izzet mechanic, the whole thing of discarding your very expensive instants and sorceries to create some treasure tokens. Starting with Carlos, what do you think?
So I think this card is very good. It's like you mentioned, late game for the 8 cost. It will help you a lot with creating those roulette elementals and drawing additional cards. In Storm, I think this card is going to be very, very good.
Okay. I see it like a weird Izzet ultimatum, but maybe not as strong. But the thing is, I'll say this. I used to think that some of the ultimatums were difficult to cast, which they are, and they weren't that powerful, but some of them ended up being like very strong in their respective decks. So I see this card and I say it's crap for commander because it's very low power. But maybe in like a very control heavy Izzet deck where you stall out tremendously, or maybe like a
Yeah.
Jeskai, or maybe like something that includes green, so you can ramp into this. There could be a possibility where this is kind of good because since it's instant, it's not a sorcery, thank God,
Mhm.
at the very least. So you can be like, oh, 4 damage to this. I'll tap these two creatures so they don't kill me on the spot. I'll create a 4/4 so I can kill you on the spot. Especially on a control deck that might not have, except Sharknado, we don't have other
Mhm.
creatures most of the time. So this is a good spell to have a creature on board so you can smack the opponent and finish the game quicker. And then you can draw some 2 cards or whatever. But then even like in worst case scenario, you can make a treasure token. Like I can see it maybe being good in standard if you can ramp into it, and like a lot of decks, as I can see, they can go very late into the game and
Mhm.
sustain a lot because a lot of decks run ultimatums and they win on the spot. But granted, they win on the spot. Like this card, I don't think you can win on the spot like some of the ultimatums can. So that's the only concern I have. JP, what do you think?
If it's a tap two target permanent, so instead of saying tap two target permanents, it's a return to their owner's hand.
That'd be
This card
broke.
would be worth the 8 mana.
Yeah, I agree.
It's 8 mana, dude.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
8 mana.
Yeah, true. I
It's
My
too
agree.
much.
disappointment out of this card, like this is the type of card you would run in a janky, low-powered cube. That you
Mhm.
wanna like. This is your big flashy spell. This is your be all end all. Like it's not good.
Yeah.
Like
And right now, I mean,
like
for the standard meta right now, which is everything aggro, like you got the Demir rogues, you
Yeah.
got all Gruul, and the only thing
mono
that's
red.
mono
Mhm.
red, the only thing that's slow right now is Sultai, and
Yeah.
it's because of the ultimatum, and the ultimatum is much much better than this one.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. And given the is the cards that were spoiled that we'll get into, I don't think like
Yeah,
yeah, definitely. Like it's splashy. You know what? I agree. Maybe it should have been like bounce to target permanents because then you could bounce basically 2 lands because
Instant
obviously that's what you
speed,
want to
yeah.
do.
Instant
Yeah.
speed, bounce 2 lands, kill maybe 2 creatures or burn through the face and make a
Mhm.
blocker.
Yeah. Yeah, for
Definitely
sure.
worth it.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
tap,
Yeah. Tap is a little underpowered. I agree.
uh,
I agree.
yeah. You said you wanted to talk about
Yeah,
the little
we're gonna
dude.
talk about
Yeah.
him. Let me click on him very quick. He's
Grinding Ignis.
yes. So it's what do
This
you
is
call this?
the future side card.
Yes, a future sight card.
Th-
It's a reprint. It's a reprint, my friends.
I
So
have one.
yeah, Grinning Ignis says it's a two colorless red for a 2/2 elemental. Says pay red, return Grinning Ignis to its owner's hand, add colorless, and red, activate only as a sorcery. So you basically, for a red, you can bounce it back to its hand and then recast it and then bounce it back to its hand, but obviously you need to have a red. Now, curiously, a card in Kaldheim, whenever you cast a spell, I believe, or a red spell, I don't
A
remember,
red spell.
a
You
red
get red.
spell, you gain 1 red. So
hmm
if you have those 2 cards on the board, and if you have a type of enabler that when you summon a creature or something, they trigger some ability, paying 1 damage to your opponent for every time a creature gets into the battlefield or something ridiculous like that, you basically have a
Is
infinite in standard.
yep,
So
is Terror of the Peaks in standard right now?
yes, it is. So that's one.
yes,
So that's one enabler right
That's
there.
one.
That's one.
That's
Like,
one enabler.
I
So
saw
you
I
need
saw a
to-
meme that posted like 4 enablers, but I only remember Terror of the Peaks. Yeah. But that's in standard, and there in standard there's like 4 possible enablers, if I'm not mistaken, right now, and there could be more. And this is a very easy combo because the other card I'm talking about is 3 costed as well, so it's
yeah. I
not
think
like
it's
it's
called
super difficult.
Birgi. I think it is.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
the
cool
god.
commander, by the way, cool possible commander. But yeah, so Carlo, what do you think? What do you think? We're gonna
Yeah,
have some cool infinite combos in standard now?
yeah. That looks very very good to do.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting combo, and it's very cheap.
Yes.
Basically, it's red.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Very
so
interesting enough. If you have a way to like, there's a lot of copy effects, and with
Mhm.
the copy effects that restrict the legendaries,
Yeah.
keep that they take out the legendary restriction.
Yeah.
You can just have 2 Birgies and
Mhm.
just go off like fully infinitely.
Yeah. Is
That's
this any
kind
good?
of interesting.
Let's do. Oh yeah, this one was kind of interesting. Okay, so this is called Expression of Repetition. It's a sorcery. You pay for a blue and a red. It says, look at the top 3 cards in your library. Put one of them into your hand, one of them at the bottom of the library, and then exile the rest. Until the end of your turn, you may play the exile card. So technically, for 2 mana, you get 2 cards. So what do you think, JP?
That's a good card for standard. I don't play standard, but having
I feel like that's pretty good. Yeah, definitely.
I would play this in Commander.
Oh yeah, no, I'm getting one of these for Commander. Yeah, that's too good. It's a better.
It's 2 mana cards. It's very cheap.
Yeah,
it's just good.
Yeah. There's a lot of 2 mana. I forget the names in blue that usually do exactly the same thing, but this one again gives you an extra card while you're doing this. So as long as you have extra mana, which you will, you'll be able to be like, oh, Expression Repetition, I get this card, I dump that card, I have an op right here, so I'll do op right now and then keep going. And it's not till the end of turn, so it's an instant you can go off and do some shenanigans like in the battle, at the end phase, whatever. You don't have to commit like immediately to the exiled card. I think it's pretty good. Like it's pretty good. I don't know if it'll see some standard play. It all depends if the Izzet deck is viable. What do you think, Carlos?
I think it's very viable. It also helps you thin out your deck, which you could throw away extra lands that you have that you don't need.
Definitely.
And if you have cards that make you scry, you could set up your next turn or even at the end of the turn with Omens of the Sea.
Yeah.
So you could set up.
Play.
He says play. You can play the stupid land. You just said it.
Lands. Wow.
You can play. You can ramp into it. Yeah.
That makes it even stronger.
It's a theme, yeah. You could theme it. You could take all those cards out, then you could play them and everything.
Yeah. Okay. We have a new challenger.
A challenger appears.
Christopher. Oh, we're missing is John. John, get here.
Yes.
So,
my nap was got a little bit extended.
I can see that. It's okay. At least you're alive. What do you want to talk about Expression Repetition very quickly before we move on?
I mean, I don't got a lot to say. I just want to stick it in my Niv-Mizzet deck.
Okay,
and
that's
just
enough.
Watch it go.
Yeah, that's enough. You cancerous being. Shut up. Shut your whole mouth. Shut it. Okay, let's talk about Elemental Expressionist. It is a split-costed 4 mana blue red Magecraft Orc Wizard 4/4. Magecraft, sorry. Whenever you cast or copy an instant sorcery spell, choose target creature you control. Until the end of turn, it gains. If this creature would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. And when you exile this creature, create a 4/4 blue and red elemental creature token. Each instance of this ability triggers separately, just so you guys know. It's good that they actually say it. Christopher, what do you think about this crap Izzet card? I'm sorry. It might be good. What do you think?
I mean, I can't think of a lot of like Izzet decks and where like that works per se. I don't know. Like
Same.
Maybe
it clashes
you
a
can
lot.
stick it in something like a Locust God.
Really?
Make
You would
your tokens
sacrifice
bigger, I guess.
But you'll win faster than you'll do this ever. You know what I mean?
That's exactly my point. It's kind of like super situational. I just can't personally think of anywhere where it like works. Maybe in standard.
Carlos, let us know if it works in standard. I doubt it so much.
I doubt it so much. The only thing that comes into mind is like flinging something with it.
It's the forecast that really kind of I personally think that really messes it all up is that forecast. Maybe even at 3, it could still kind of be viable because you can play it in curve with like the fairies.
Okay.
Wait, is that for like non-token creatures or just target creature?
Target creature.
Target
creature.
I guess it could kind of work if it was maybe like 3 costed, so you can like have that extra mana on the side for like a cantrip or something in standard. Cast an opt and maybe make one of your like the fairies, like the draw card. I forget the name of it. It's like a deck that was running around for a while. It was also like Izzet.
The one where you draw the second card and stuff.
Exactly. So maybe, you can just like make one of those fairies bigger. And, I think in standard, it would have much more impact. But at a 4 converted, mana value, I think it really...
Horrible.
Yeah.
JB, tell us how horrible this card is so we can move on.
I'm only thinking of it was like oh yeah, this card is bad, but when you combine it with this broken card, it might not be that bad. But it's not even worth. Let's just no.
No.
Let's just move to solve the equation.
Yes, please. Let's talk about a good card.
Two in a bubble, sorcery.
Yes.
Search your library for an instant or sorcery card. Reveal
Woo.
it. Put it into your hand.
Woo.
Then shuffle your library.
Woo.
Just instant and sorcery
I
tutor.
love it.
3
It's
mana.
a tutor,
That's
even though it's 3
broken.
mana. Love it. I'm gonna
Wizards
get a
of the
couple of
Coast has
those.
been doing this.
Yep.
Wizards of the Coast has been doing this. Like 3 mana tutors are pretty much acceptable. They reprinted Idyllic Tutor for enchantment and
Yep.
like and it's a reasonable cost. Like it's 3 mana. Search for something that's very like specific, like artifact, enchantment, or a creature. Like those are
Your
very
ultimatum.
yeah, like
Yeah.
like, those are very
Search
very
for your win con.
very
It's fine.
It's so good. I'm just so happy they printed another tutor. That's all I care about. Even at 3 cost, it's freaking amazing. Like so, like and
buying the
standard.
bots just for this card.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I hope I pull a couple. No, it's fine. Like it's great. It's a great card. I don't know, like, would it do something in standard? Because the thing is, Idyllic Tutor came out, and it did nothing. So I don't know if solve the equation would do anything. I know.
Enchantments are not the same as the ultimatums.
I guess. Yeah, I guess you can tutor for an ultimatum. So instead of
Like,
trying to
what
draw for it.
enchantment?
If you don't have
and
anything.
the problem of
Yeah.
Idyllic Tutor is it's white.
True.
Idyllic Tutor's problem is it's in white. What decks run white properly in standard right now?
No,
Just
basically.
the angels.
Yeah, exactly.
Just,
And
just angels, and they don't use enchantments at all.
exactly. No, you're right. You're right.
Yorion, wasn't there like an Esper Yorion deck?
Yeah, but what are you gonna tutor? Binding of the Gods, which you can naturally
no,
draw
you can't
because
really.
you have so many ETBs and stuff like triggers that you'll just naturally draw it. It flies by so quick. And even the Sultai one, sure, you can tutor for an ultimatum, but I feel like you're just gonna draw into it so quickly too. But I mean, I guess maybe solve the equation will be tried out for sure.
Yeah,
Like,
in a turn tree, you don't have nothing to do. Just look for the ultimatum.
just look for the ultimatum, keep ramping up, and keep going. Okay, let's go quick. Okay, that one's boring. This one's kind of cute. Like the make your mark. Like the split Boros one costs 1 instant. Target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. When that creature dies this turn, create a 3/2 red and white spirit creature token. It's kind of interesting for like feather decks, I guess. But even then, it's like very low powered. Like. You're
It's
expecting...
generally kind of replacing, I guess, like your early game
your
like
1/1
ones or something.
Yeah, it's kind of cute. Okay, let's talk about a spicy
kind
one.
of funny how
yeah.
like this Mage Hunter is like just glossing over it. You might not feel like it's that good, but
right.
it's a pretty consistent. It's pretty consistent damage.
It is if you have like a little storm in black or in those colors that include black. Yeah, it's true.
Like a Black Blue Storm is a thing, so
Yeah,
it's just 4 mana. There's only for like commander, maybe if more like a stormy type deck forms in standard, but 4 mana because it's a 3/4. It's not. It doesn't have a bad body for being 4 mana.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Avatar one, the colorless one. It's a dual modal card. Dual modal. ¿Cómo que se llama?
Modular.
Dual modal face card. Yeah, that's the name.
Yeah.
Wandering Archaic. It's 5 colorless for a creature avatar 4/4. It says whenever an opponent casts an instant or sorcery, they may pay 2. If they do not, you may copy that spell. You may choose new copies for that, new targets for that copy. Now, the back side of the card, it says explore the vast lands. For 3 colorless, it's a sorcery. Each player looks at the top 5 cards of their library, reveals a land card and or an instant sorcery card from among them, then puts the cards they revealed this way into their hand and the rest in the bottom of their library in a random order. Each player gains 3 life. JP, what do you think about this Avatar sorcery card?
Well, I don't really like the sorcery part, but the Avatar part. Like whenever an opponent casts an instant sorcery, they may pay 2. But if they don't, you just copy it.
Yeah.
Right?
You get a freebie. You get a freebie.
Like it's a tax. It's basically a tax effect.
It's a tax
It's actually
effect.
very, very.
Yeah.
It's very, very strong. 5 mana, 4/4. These decentish stats. Strong ability. Like just copying an X spell, you say, oh, you just have that in play. Oh, you're not gonna pay 2 more. Okay, I just copy your spell, and your copy technically resolves first.
Exactly.
So-
I'm desperately trying to counter something. Oh, I don't have the extra 2. Okay, he's gonna copy it for free. He's gonna counter my counter. Bamoose.
Yeah.
Screwed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
colorless, so it could go in
It's
anywhere.
It can
Yep.
go anywhere. That's the best part. It can go in a
It's-
white deck where you tax stuff,
Mhm.
basically. So, Carlo, what do you think? Very quick.
Yeah, I think this card is very good. That tax is gonna be very brutal, especially in this set that everything is instant sorceries.
Yeah.
And I also like to explore the vast as well. It's a pretty good
Yeah.
side of the card.
It's interesting. I don't like
Yeah.
that each player does it. It'd be cool if you did it. It'd be like a weird. It sort of feels factor fictiony, but there's a card that does this kind of ability differently. Well, no, it is kind of like factor fictiony.
Yeah, but it's a colorless card. It can't be as good as the colored version. Orengo, you're
I guess
crazy,
so, but
man.
each player, come on, that's no. Don't give each player value. No,
Mhm.
no. This is not a lesson card. There's no need.
I'm just trying to think if there's like a way to like I don't know, maybe like
Mhm.
like keep players from like searching their libraries. But at that point, it's just kind of like it's something that'll probably only work in like Commander and
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't do much for Standard, but
Exactly.
like
Nope.
like Carlos said that like front face, like the avatar. Oh
Yeah,
man, I
Avatar.
just love
Avatar's
it.
really good. Yeah,
I mean,
I like
as
it.
as you know, I just like stuff that says you can't do or like you have to do extra stuff to do your stuff. So
No,
I enjoy it.
Yeah, I cast my ultimatum. It's already a pain in the ass to cast it. Oh my god, I gotta pay 2, so I gotta consider if I want to give him a freebie or not.
Oh my god, getting a free ultimatum, that's like the best case
Yeah.
scenario.
Then you just add a Jawai just in case. Oh, pay 1
Oh
extra.
yeah. Oh yeah. No, horrifying. Oh, let's go to the juicy ones. We got some two elders right here. We got the Izzet one. He is called Galaseth Prismari, 2 colorless, blue and a red for an Elder Dragon 3/4. He says flying. When Galaseth Prismari enters the battlefield, create a treasure token. So yay, instant value when it comes to the field. And it says artifacts you control have tap. Add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast an instant or sorcery. I gushed a little bit about this card. I called him Urza nerfed. And it's basically what it is. It's Ursa nerfed. It's Ursa with extra steps. It's a fair Urza to some degree. It's pretty fair. So, you can have a bunch of 0 costed mana rocks or very cheap artifacts on the field. You place them on the field, and then you can start ramping into your juicy instant and sorceries. So it's like a fairer, Urza. Carlo, what do you think?
Yeah, so like you said, a lot of artifacts. Put them on the field.
Yeah.
Right now, you have I don't know, in Standard right now, there's not a lot of treasure tokens. The only one is the Goldspan Dragon, and he already gives you 2 mana.
Yeah.
Any
For
color.
Standard, that thing is way better. Like this is just a splashy commander, like for sure. Yeah.
Yep.
JP, what do you think?
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I don't like it at all. I don't
It's
like it at
fair.
all.
Oh, so it's good. You do like it. Look, pasa que you don't like that it exists.
No. I don't like it as in.
Okay.
Why would you run this over anything else?
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
It's like what my problem is. You add mana for instants and sorceries,
Yeah.
but you also want artifacts, so you're just splitting yourself in 2 avenues.
Yeah. You're either trying to be a
those-
spell slinger or you're trying to be Joyra, but you can't be both.
It's like,
Joyra
like
can be
intersect,
a-
like Joyra's is historic. Really,
Yeah, the
but,
historic one, exactly. Yeah.
but like it's 2 themes that don't have proper intersectionality. Like they don't intersect as easily.
That's fair.
So you're just splitting yourself in 2 themes and not getting anywhere. In my like,
What about if the deck, just speculating, what if the deck had all those splashy artifacts that, bring the cost down, like saying those oh my god, I forgot. The
Bring down
sapphire
cost of, like,
medallions,
sorceries.
the medallions, having the medallions, for example.
Joyra
having,
would
like-
just draw you all the cards, but like
No, I
having
know, I
all the
understand.
mana, like all.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Obviously.
just not.
Yeah.
It's just not. It feels like a very strong rare, not a mythic.
True.
But sometimes some mythics are just very weak mythics.
Yeah,
It just happens.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have to hear wizards give us excuses about, oh yeah, it's because
The
it's for
draft.
draft. It's for draft. We swear it's for draft. We're not just
Christopher.
This is
filling
not
like
draft.
trash rare slots. I swear.
Christopher, what do you think about this trash mythic?
I mean, I always get excited for trash. You gave me a 4-mana dragon that does something that's kind of cool. I'm like down with it. I mean, I don't think I'll put him in any like decks. I'll probably like try my hardest to fit it in something like Niv Mizzet, or even like try something stupid like try to put him in Joyrup, but he's just not as great as I'd like him to be. That's pretty much it.
No, it's pretty nerfed, definitely, and it's nerfed on purpose. Okay, so let's go to the Simic Elder Dragon, Tanzari Quandrix.
Broken.
Oh, okay.
Broken.
Give me a second though. Let me get to
I
it.
need it.
He's
I need
three colorless and then green and a blue for an Elder Dragon 4/4. He has flying and trample. Thank God he has trample. When Tanzari Quandrix enters the battlefield, double the number of 1/1 counters on target creature you control. Already pretty freaking good. And then added to that, whenever Tanzari Quandrix attacks, you may have the base power and toughness of other creatures you control become equal to the Tanzari Quandrix power and toughness until the end of turn. JP, you said broken. Go ahead.
Oh, it's an overrun effect on a creature
Yeah.
that can just get bigger.
Yeah.
Like if you've managed to, when it enters on the stack, put counters on it and then double them.
Yeah.
When you attack, you don't even have to attack with that many creatures. He's a 4/4.
Yep.
Overrun gives +3/+3 and trample. He would be turning them into 4/4s. It's strong. It's very strong.
And given the mechanic of
Compared to
Simic,
the-
because this set's mechanic is the whole thing of putting the 0/0 elementals with 1/1 tokens counters. So what you do is you have a bunch of those little elementals, and then this thing comes down, and then when he attacks, he boosts them to 4/4s instantaneously. So within the set's Simic mechanic, it functions very, very well as a bomb to like finish you off, essentially.
They'll turn into 5/5 because it's one counter. They are 4/4, right?
Yeah, but it depends because some of them might have more than 1/1 counters, and this thing will double them. Hopefully, you won't double like something that has like one counter. Obviously, you want to have like a worm coil or something useful, something that has a couple of counters. You double it and just smack face.
Yeah, but example, all those 1/1s, they'll when you attack with him, they'll become 4/4
5/5s.
with their with the counters that they have. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you'll be smacking them to smith. Yeah, and it'll be easy because a lot of those Simic cards that I'm talking about that create those weird elemental creatures. I don't remember what type they are. Those 0-costed elemental creatures. Some of them are very cheap.
Are pest green black?
Pests are green black. Yes, they're the
Green black.
Golgari ones. If I'm not mistaken.
Fractals,
Yes.
I think, isn't it?
The fractals are exactly. So the fractal ones are the Simic ones. So there's some of them create for very cheap. They create 1/1 fractal elemental whatever thingies. So put a bunch of them cheap. It's Simic. You're gonna ramp like a maniac, and then just big bomb. Carlos, do you want to add something to it?
Yeah, I think there's also in historic using Hydras and Nissa is pretty nasty.
I forgot about the Hydras.
Oh wait, I remember.
Yeah.
Oh, remember?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
God, gross.
Those Hydras with Nissa,
Oh yeah,
So-
no,
they'll come by early.
no, gross. Christopher, any other gross things you want to say?
I mean, yeah, I do have something gross to say. I had recently started building a Traxa deck for Melissa. It was supposed to be like an angel themed kind of thing because, well, she really wanted to like use her angels for once. So hopefully she'll be joining us for Commander Night soon.
Cool.
Once I saw this thing come out, I was like, hey, Melissa, look, if we drop the angel theme, I got ideas. Oh, man. I mean, everything that I could probably say about this thing, JP kind of already said it. Like, it's an overrun effect on a creature. And, like, I like the idea, like, of the overrun effect on a creature because I used to use, what's its name? I always remember his name in Spanish, Elfo Cultivafilos.
I forgot what that is.
It's
Cultivator
like
of Blades.
Yes,
There you
there you go.
The 3 green 2/2 fabricate 2. That when it
Yes.
attacks, you give +2/+2, and I'm not sure if you
right.
get trample.
No, it's the amount, like his power, I think. it is.
Yeah, +X equal to its
Right.
power. So you could give
Right.
plus because it has fabricate 2. So either you make two 1/1s and then give them +2/+2, or you just make that one creature a 4/4.
A bigger
Mhm.
creature. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I kind of see Tanzir as like a much better. I keep thinking of his name in Spanish, Cultivafilos.
Yeah.
Cultivator
Blade,
Blades.
Cultivator of Blades. Yeah, I just think of him as a better cultivator of blades, and his potential in standard to just be like a finisher or just generally be something. Because as you guys know, when I play my decks, especially when I'm playing blue green and like, or I sometimes play blue green white when I used to play Rubinia. Like just being able to drop a bomb and drop something and have the whole table look at it and said, we have to get rid of that. That's my kind of thing. And Tanazir just fits the description very well.
Gross.
It's a kill on site.
Yeah, it's a kill on side, definitely. Okay, let's go to a very crappy blue card. Multiple choice. It's X and blue for a sorcery. Pa colmo, it's a freaking sorcery. If X is 1, scry 1, then draw a card. If X is 2, you may choose a player. They get to choose. They return a creature they control to its owner's hand. If X is 3, create a 4/4 blue and red elemental creature token. If 4 is more, you do all of the above. Christopher, tell me how amazing this card is.
I mean, I like it. Honestly, I do. It's kind of
5 mana
janky.
for like a horrifyingly bad card.
That's the part that bothers me. It's just the sorcery part, man.
Sorcery.
If this was an instant, I think it would actually be a pretty good card. But as long as it keeps being a sorcery, I don't think it deserves that rare slot.
So even if this was an instant, the fact that the X is 2, you may choose a player. That player chooses what creature to bounce. It's like, come on, Wizards. Why not have a 3 mana unsummon? I don't It's already 3 mana. You're already like screwing the player by having to pay 3 mana for an unsummon, and you're telling me you have to also give the opponent the chance to like select the creature. It seems so ridiculous to me. Like, sure, it should have been an instant, and that thing should have said, you choose what creature to bounce back to the hand. Because if it was an instant, you can create the blocker, you can draw a card, and you can bounce like another bigger creature, and then you can chump block, or you can do a better block, and then you end up with a 4/4, an extra card, and then you go off to your turn. But as you said, sorcery ruins it, and the fact that the opponent gets to choose, it's ridiculous to me. Carlo, what do you want to add?
Yeah, this card is not good at all. That sorcery thing kills it, and it's like you said, paying 3 just to unsummon something they choose. It's
bad unsummon. Yeah, no, it's horrible. JP, anything else?
No, I don't. Let's just keep on.
Let's keep on moving. We could talk for a second about the Prismari campus. Like, I liked it. What do you guys think of this cycle? Like, clearly all of these lands do the same thing. So what do you guys think?
I love it for like the cards like colors like Boros and Orzhov that don't get access to scry mechanics as often.
Yeah.
You might as well just run Castle Ventress.
But you can run both. I mean, for commander purposes, I'm talking about, not for standard. Standard, obviously, Castle Ventress is infinitely better. But for commander, I mean, you lose nothing putting that.
It enters tapped. It's slow.
But if you're already like kind of maximized, or if you're in a budget,
and you have like this,
better.
like if your options are between this and a guild gate, take this.
Of
this
course,
is just better than a guild gate. That's common. It's just in
That's
that case, then, sure.
Yeah.
In non-budget, like not fully like optimized $500, $600 commander decks, like in a non so much budget deck, I will still run these type of cards in an Orzhov or a Boros deck.
Yeah.
Though I wouldn't run in on the Golgari, because Golgari already has the Castle Locthwain. Just drawing the card is just better than scrying. But other than that, like I like this. I really like that little land.
Okay. You two, anything you want to add? I mean, it's pretty simple. Like, do you like the cycle?
Yeah, I mean, the only area where I do defer a bit with JP is that I would definitely add this if I had like in my Izzet deck, for example, just because even though it is still 4 mana, it is still like a consistent scry, and if I literally have nothing else to do, or if I'm
You're
just like
losing.
holding on to like counters.
You
No,
have to be.
not necessarily. Sometimes a Niv is that I just like holding on to spells on purpose, and I'll just hold on to like a bunch of counters in my win con. That's literally the only way I can like make sure I win.
Close. Stop it. Stop.
Be proactive.
Be proactive.
No, I could just hold on to a bunch of counters in my win con. It's fine.
Stop it. Stop it. Carlo.
The other thing I do want to mention though, I
Dale,
really
sorry.
do like the Muse of Maelstrom on the bottom, Maelstrom, whatever. The guy that
Moves
like
out in
all the-
miles.
Oh, esto.
I just
Yeah.
pretty much like anything that ends in Maelstrom, and I just enjoy that he reminds me of the wizard with trample that was in War of the Spark that
Okay.
could like cast stuff for free as well.
Mhm.
But I think the other guy had to do combat damage, so this guy's just according to his power when he attacks. So I enjoy
Yeah.
that. And the other guy was like a 1/3, which is a little bit easier to take out. This guy's a 2/4. He's a little
Are you
bit.
talking
beefier,
about
so-
Arcanist? Or,
Yeah, the
Yes.
Arcanist.
Arcanist, yeah, or
Yeah,
Arcanist.
Arcanist is way better.
way better. That's why I
Really?
dismissed this card. Oh yeah, that thing's used in Legacy, my friend.
Well, he comes down for 2 mana, no?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's why it's so good.
Yeah,
1/3.
that
Right.
is true.
And
And
even
look,
though it
I
can
hit
be-
you for one bolt.
Bolt. Oh, I hit you for
Brainstorm.
one. Thoughtseize. Oh,
Oh
I
yeah.
hit you for
I
one.
got the Thoughtseize twice today.
Yeah,
I
there
got
you
hit
go.
with that.
Yeah, that thing is too ridiculous. So that's why this one I kind of dismissed it. It's like it's cool, I guess, but you literally have an infinitely better card in Dreadboard Archivist. I'm going to skip a little bit. Okay, this is a splashy mythic. Exus Orc
Auric.
Auric Overlord. One colorless, one white, two black. Legendary creature, human warlock. Double strike. It better have double strike because it's a 2/4. Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, return target non-legendary creature card from your graveyard to your hand. And the flip side, because it's a dual modal card, Awaken the Blood Avatar. It's six colorless and then Rakdos, a black and a red, for a sorcery that reads: as an additional cost to casting this spell, you may sacrifice any number of creatures. This spell costs 2 less to cast for each creature sacrificed this way. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. Create a 3/6 black and red avatar creature token with haste, and whenever this creature attacks, it deals 3 damage to each opponent.
It's either a cooler ultimatum or a okay double strike creature.
Yeah, basically. Okay, Carlos, what do you think?
The only value I see for this is for Rakdos sacrifice decks.
Yeah.
That thing could do a lot of damage there.
Mhm.
Sacrifice those goats, those 1/1s that you could bring back.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
that.
That's the
It
only
co-
utility I
you,
can
you
see.
could pay. You'll only have to pay 2. So
Yeah.
you'll just play Rakdos, and the opponent has to sacrifice a creature, and you get a 3/6.
JP,
Deal 3
you
damage to the
agree?
face. Damage is
Or
always
being-
nice.
Like for being the big baddie of the set, like for what I can take, what I can see from the cards and the lore on the cards, this is really disappointing.
Oh, he's like the Voldemort of the set.
Yeah,
It looks like it.
He's basically the big baddie of the set. Yeah, there's
Oh,
a
I
few
didn't
cards
know.
that say like Liliana warning the twins
Okay.
to be careful of Extus.
Okay,
And
okay.
then there's a few more other cards that says, "Oh yeah, the twins just beat beat him up
Yeah.
super easily." After,
Yeah,
"Oh
yeah.
yeah, this is what we do," and just beat him in like 2 or 3 cards.
Yeah.
So it was kind of disappointing.
What if he's just like the setup bad guy?
This is a one set.
Yeah. They're not gonna do more.
They're not gonna do more like 2 sets.
I
Yeah,
doubt
but
it,
we got a bunch of planeswalkers in one place. Maybe he's just like the I was sent by
No.
Big Hole no less.
Big Hole. Big Hole.
I'm trying to get my hopes up here.
He
Come
could
on.
become a planeswalker. That would be cool.
I mean,
Hmm.
I wish that thing didn't say target non-legendary. I mean, at that point, just say target creature. Like, it's already very
If it
underpowered
said
as it is.
just reanimate.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, just reanimate. No,
Just
maybe-
reanimate.
But maybe for
Bring it
4
to
mana, though.
Standard
Yes!
for 4 mana.
It's
It's a
standard for
2/4.
4 mana?
It's a 2/4.
It's a 4/4. Come on, let's be real here. It's not a 2/4. It's a 4/4.
It's a 2/4 because when you block, you just have to block with one creature. Sure, it's like you're not gonna get like if you're hitting, you're winning.
Sure, exacto. But that's the thing. You're not gonna be hitting with this. You're gonna be reanimating like a
Exactly.
maniac.
You're never gonna be hitting anyways.
I don't
So
know.
might as well just make it stronger.
But reanimate might be a little too much for standard. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'd be cool for like.
There is
whatever.
no reanimator. Like, what combo can you even get with it? Like what creature can't you already ramp into? That's
I mean,
worth this.
if this thing was like in a Rakdos deck
I
or
don't
a
think the issue is
Rakdos plus
ramping into it.
white, it'd be a problem. If this
Yeah, no.
reanimated as well, because then you'd be sacking, reanimating, Luris, reanimate. Like,
Luris, yeah.
oh
There'll be
Christ Almighty!
this and an enchantment.
You don't even
deck.
need Luris if you have him in your deck. I
No,
mean,
no. Oh well, you couldn't
No.
play. You couldn't play him. You'd have to play him in the deck. But then even
the
then,
deck.
why would you not play Luris in the deck
I mean,
with this
yeah,
guy
it's
if
just,
he
it's just like
reanimated
better
as well?
redundancy, basically. But
I
yeah.
just feel like it's way too weak.
I mean, no, that's fair. I feel like it is weak. It is. I mean, it's no
yeah, but
Luris.
how can you make it like not weak? I mean, maybe if you do like the same thing they did to Luris and just nerf like what he can bring back, but
They already do that. It says non-legendary creature, but then at that point, it is a Luris because when you reanimate, it's not legendary anyways, so it doesn't matter.
yeah.
And Luris is used like everywhere. Everywhere you can literally use Luris, and he reanimates. So even like
Mhm.
it's pretty strong.
I
don't know.
think the sorcery side is going to be used more.
Let's talk
Okay,
about this
so-
one. Baleful Mastery, because it's really good. 3 colorless and a black. For instance, you may pay 1 colorless and a black instead of playing this spell's mana cost. If you pay that cost, an opponent draws a card, and then you get to exile a target creature or planeswalker. Carlos,
That
tell
should've
me
been
how
white.
good. Okay, yeah,
That
you
should've
said that.
been
You said
white.
that. Yeah, you should. You did mention that. Carlos, how do you think? How broken is this in standard?
I think this is very, very powerful.
Yeah.
Just paying 2.
Yeah.
And just exiling a creature, planeswalker,
Mhm.
and right now, let's see. All decks I think are gonna be running this.
Yeah.
Everything that's black is gonna have this card.
Yeah.
It's just it's a 2.
Yeah. Chris, you did mention you wish if this was white. I understand,
I
but
just- I just want one good thing for white,
Yeah.
man.
I get it.
I just want to like look at a card.
They
be
get
like, oh,
something
look
good.
at that.
They do get something good. We'll probably see it. Actually,
yeah.
it's right there.
In
It's right
comparison
there.
to like the
This thing?
things that
Clever
everybody else
Luminant.
gets, man.
Yeah.
Lumimancer. This is actually really, really strong.
Yeah. Let's talk about this one because it is strong.
Real quick, my opinion is this is like an arcane denial for black.
Yeah.
That's like it's just good.
Yeah, it's very good.
Okay, Clever Lumimancer.
Go.
1, it's a 0/1 creature human wizard with Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, Clever Lumimancer gets +2/+2 until end of turn.
Yep.
They were mentioning through Twitter about this card and about another card we'll see further up. You just cast Mutagenic Growth and Teamer Battle Rage on turn 2 with this, and you can just kill someone.
Yeah, you just kill
Turn
someone.
2 kill someone, and that's only like cards you would run in a Is It Blitz type deck. In this case, you would be adding white, so it'd be different. It'd probably be like Boros because Mutagenic Growth can you just pay life.
Yep.
The Mutagenic Growth reads it's a Phyrexian green mana, so you can either pay a green or 2 life, and you give a creature +2/+2 until end of turn. So you cast that on this, and it gets +4/+4. You do it again, and it's an 8/8. You do you cast Teamer Battle Rage,
It's
which
a
gives
10.
which gives it trample and double strike, and it's a 10. So it just one shots you,
Yep. And then you can do that in turn 2.
and you can do that on turn 2.
Yep. That's why it was it's very powerful. Yeah.
And that's in modern.
That's for modern, yeah.
That's for
Okay.
modern. And if they ever put Mutagenic Growth in historic, which they might, who knows? Like
No, I don't think they're ever adding any Phyrexian
Phyrexian
mana.
stuff. Okay.
Phyrexian mana is very strong.
Fair enough.
There's already a combo for it in standard too.
They should just
Okay,
bring back
go ahead.
Phyrexian mana in standard. And just
No,
be
shut up.
done with
That's
it.
it's horrible ideas. You can't talk for 5 minutes if you keep saying these things. Carlo, what's the thing you do in standard with?
So there's already a combo for turn 3 doing 18 damage
Oh God, how?
because there's
Remember?
a red card that you foretell, and then there's I think another white card that gives double strike. I think it's in this set as well.
Oh, okay.
So you play that card turn 1, then you foretell turn 2, and turn 3 you play both cards double strike and the other one, and he becomes an 18/18.
That's pretty spicy. And if you can do that by turn 3, it seems
Yeah.
doable. Yeah. Okay.
That's a very strong card.
Let me skip. Okay, so culmination of the studies because
There
it's
you
kind of
go.
splashy.
where
This
they
one?
kill freaking
The guy.
It's like Will's quick
Right.
thinking, push the
Oh.
and sorry,
Yeah,
just
it's okay.
just
Yeah,
look,
Will's quick thinking dice ahí que dice inertia with Rowan's
Mesh.
raw power meshed with Rowan's raw power to bring down the blood avatar. You're right. Yeah.
it's like yay, one that just immediately destroying him. Okay,
Yeah.
they win. We
GG.
GG.
It says X for a blue and a red. Exile top X cards of your library. For each land, exile this way, create a treasure token. For each blue card, exile this way, draw a card. For each red card, exile this way. Combination studies deals 1 damage to each opponent. Very quickly, JP, what do you think?
I actually like this card. It's interesting. I just don't like that it exiles. Because
Okay,
well,
yeah.
I'm just a black player at heart, so anything that puts things in the graveyard would have been nice, or even in the bottom of the library, so you don't even get them. Like exile them at first. Oh, you do this with the other cards, and the rest you just put them in the bottom.
Yeah,
You don't even get access to them. That would have been nice.
I agree. I feel that the exile is the scary part of using this. It's like, oh, it's fun, big splashy X spell. It's really good because you get to draw, you get to ramp, you get to do all these things. But the problem is you exile them. So then if you exile like a really cool combo piece or something in your Izzet deck, you lost it forever. And that's what scares me about this card. I loved it, except for the part that says exile. Carlos, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I think this is a good Timur card.
Mhm.
But
Timur card, okay.
yeah, but the exile thing, I think it had to be exiled because right now there's so many things in at least in standard that you can shuffle your deck
Mhm.
that you're gonna get them back. So you gotta pay a little price for it for beating the avatar.
I'm gonna quickly mention Resculpt. It's colorless and a blue for an instant. Exile target artifact or creature. Its controller creates a 4/4 blue and red elemental creature token. Some people liked that it's better than the Manifest card. I forgot the name.
Reality Shift.
Reality Shift.
I don't feel like it's better.
I feel like I like because it's more versatile. I like it.
I'm
But
gonna start
because
smacking you with a 4/4 every turn just because you did that. And
True.
4/4 is it's pretty big.
True, but since it
It's
removes
easily
like an artifact in blue, that's kind of nice. Like I dig that. That's why I like it a little bit. Like I prefer obviously
have-
Pognify and the other one.
You have bounce in blue. You can just bounce something and then counter, or
Yeah, I guess
just
so.
like
It's cool to have removal. I don't mind it.
it is, yes,
Yeah.
but it's a
I just wanted
4/4.
to quickly mention it.
You use that against me, I'm just gonna start smacking you with the 4/4.
Fair. I'm going to talk about this horrible divination card, and we're not even going to discuss it because it's horrible. Like, there's no way this is good except for the fact that it's a lesson, so you can play the one in a circumstance where you're winning. But I'm literally just going to mention it.
It looks like the archaics look like Eldrazi type beings. That's
do.
interesting, but other
Yeah.
than that,
Yeah, it's a horrifying divination. Someone actually fought me on this, and they were like, "No, but it's good." And I'm like, I mean, I guess it's good because it's a lesson card. So in a very specific circumstance, like we've mentioned with the other lesson cards, it could be good. But generally, this is like a horrifyingly bad rare. The fact that it's a rare, it's like horrifying. And the fact that it's like a very bad divination unless a very specific condition is met. Yeah, I don't like it. So quickly, 2 colorless and a blue. If an opponent has more cards in hand than you draw 2 cards. Draw 3 cards if an opponent has at least 4 more cards than you. And if the opponent has 4 more cards than you, he's probably already probably winning.
Mhm.
And on top of that, in no circumstance, this is even a divination because if you have more cards than the opponent, you draw nothing. So that's what I'm saying about this card being like extremely situational. It's cute because it's a lesson, but that's it.
But the thing about it is that
yeah.
you can have it at sideboard and then just in standard at
Yeah.
least you can lesson for it. But blue mostly always has more cards than the opponent. So
Oh yeah, exactly. So that's like I see no reason to ever run this ever. I'm not gonna
Golden
mention the Hall of
Ratio.
Oracles because it's horrible. You want to talk about what?
Golden ratio.
Yes, that's a good card to mention.
Like 3 mana and possibly draw a lot of cards.
Yes, so it's a colorless Simic, so green and blue for a sorcery. Draw a card for each different power among creatures you control. JP, go ahead. You wanted to mention something about it.
You just draw 1, 2.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you have a 1 power, 2 power, 3 power, 4. That's 4 cards for 3 mana.
For 3 mana.
Oh, look, an uncommon that's better than
Yeah.
Teachings of the Archaics.
Yeah, and the fact that this set has cards, and we're gonna get into one of them, where you can put different costed and different value creature tokens. Like there's one card for 7 mana, I believe, that you put like a 1/1 and a 2/2 and a 4/4 or something ridiculous like that. So even that you do that, and then you do a golden ratio, you draw 3 cards off the bat. The Simic mechanic of the having the tokens. The tokens are going to have different values, so that's also good for drawing. So it's cool. I don't know if it's going to see standard play because it seems like too much of a workaround. We have to make sure that these Simic mechanics actually work in standard to golden ratio even be considered something that you can play. But obviously in Commander, yeah, this is like a golden opportunity for your golden ratio. You want me to mention Verdant Mastery because it's kind of bad too. I don't particularly like it, but
I kind of like it because it's just a better rampant growth. Not better rampant growth, a better explosive vegetation.
I suppose because you get one more.
You get one more land in your hand, and you just give like in that case, if you're gonna run explosive vegetation, you can run this instead. And really, you're not gonna be losing anything. You're actually gonna be gaining a card.
I know it'd be unfair to say, but if it said 4 lands, it'd be so much better. But I understand that if it said 4 lands, this thing would be an auto include everywhere. So I get it. It has to have 4 basic. I get it, and I see your point. It's a better explosive vegetation because you do get one more card, but you do give an opponent ramp. But I guess it's just one opponent, so I guess it's fine. But again,
that's why
this is not good for standard, obviously. So we're just literally gonna skip through that. Let's talk about the spicy one, which is kind of interesting. Very quickly, it's not gonna see standard play, but we're gonna talk about it. Approach of the Dragon. It is 2 colorless and a red sorcery. Approach of the Dragon deals 3 damage to your opponent. You may exile the Approach of the Dragon and 4 other cards. Name Approach of the Dragon from your graveyard. If you do, search your library for a dragon creature card, put it on the battlefield, and it better say you put it on the battlefield, and then shuffle your library. This is the card that Mark Rosewater said that you can have any number of cards called Approach of the Dragon. Carlos, tell me how this is never going to be played in standard.
Yeah, I don't think this card is pretty good.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's 3 mana for 3 damage, and you need 5 of them in the graveyard. This is always, and Seth mentioned this when he was talking about the card. There's always a problem with cards saying that you can have any number of cards of these cards.
How many do you have?
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna run it, how many? How many is enough?
Yeah, and then how many is enough? This is so horribly bad. It could never see standard play because if you play like say 20 of those, like 20 of these bad 3 mana, 3 damage, because you're gonna die. You're just gonna die. You're not gonna be able to summon any creature. What if you start drawing those stupid dragons instead? You're gonna probably play those dragons instead of playing this stupid card. Like I don't see this card having any utility, any value. Chris,
I think these cards are for their. I think these cards are for their events that they do. Their weird events that they do on Arena.
Oh,
like,
true. Yeah.
Like the one that they have that you could have right now. They run. Yeah, it's a card for those events.
Yeah, it's true because I used to do the Rat Colony deck when you could do them for the events. So yeah, it's one of those. It's cute. It's interesting. Let's talk about conspiracy theories very quickly because this enables madness, a mechanic from back in the day. Conspiracy theories: 1 colorless, 1 red. Creature, human shaman. Whenever conspiracy theories attack, you may pay 1 and discard a card. Here's where your madness mechanic comes in. If you do draw a card, whenever you discard 1 or more non-land cards, you may exile 1 of them from your graveyard. If you do, you may cast it this turn. So at least you don't lose a lot of value when you start exiling. When you start discarding your non-land cards. JP, what do you think?
I thought this card was way more broken than what it was because I read it and I was like, wait. So whenever you discard a card, you may exile a card from your graveyard and play it. It was like, oh wait, this is just you discard 3 cards, like, discarding enough cards, and this is just the Yawgmoth's will. This is broken.
No. It's just cool for madness enabling. I think that's about it. Like it's cool for like a madness deck or something like that. But I don't think it's gonna do anything else. It is cool that at least when you discard the card, you don't lose it forever. You at least can get a chance to cast it if you have the mana. So at least there's that. But it's like you said, it would have been more broken. It would have been better if it
be
did
too broken.
exactly
Two
what you
mana,
said.
2/2.
Oh yeah,
That's
for
the
sure.
Yakmot's will, but like a conditional Yakmot's will. Yeah, no.
Exactly. Carlos,
Way too
anything
broken.
else?
No, I think that it will. It's like you said. This for a madness deck. I think it's gonna be pretty decent.
Yeah, but beyond that, it's not gonna see
Yeah, beyond
standard
that,
play because
nah.
we already have way better two-costed red cards. Chris, are you there? I guess
think he's still setting up, yeah.
He's still in standby mode, I guess. Okay, I'll leave him there. Okay, let's go very quickly to. I don't want to talk about Dragonic Intervention because it's like a weird board wipe. It's cute.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I do
I
want to
agree.
talk about the
What?
ecological.
Yeah, that card.
Ecological.
Is
What's it called?
Which one is it?
Uh,
The
Because
green card.
Green. There you
Oh,
go. The first
Ecological
one.
appreciation.
Nope, one up.
Oh, yeah, sure. We're talking about that. No, for sure.
Yeah.
Ecological
This
appreciation.
is,
Yeah.
this is just a gift on given for green.
Oh yeah, no. It is. Okay, ecological appreciation. X, 2 colorless and a green for sorcery, a very powerful sorcery. Sorcery library for a graveyard. Sorcery library and graveyard for up to 4 creature cards with different names and each have mana value X or less and reveal them. An opponent chooses 2 of those cards. Shuffle the chosen cards into your library and put the rest on the battlefield. Thankfully, you get to exile ecological appreciation. Carlos, please tell me how broken this is.
That card is way too freaking broken.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's like almost at the level of the Genesis card.
Yeah, it is. It's a little more more costed, but still, yeah, like it could be an add-on to that deck, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
And for a Keenan deck that I'm trying to build in,
oh, gross. No.
this card
no.
is going.
Let's not talk about gross cards.
I mean,
Yeah.
speaking of gross cards, I was gonna place this in. Like, if I get one of these, I'm gonna place it in Prime Speaker Vanifar.
Oh God.
Just get 4 cards that all 4 of them say the same thing, so there's no right answer.
Yeah, there's no right answer. It's like redundancy is great.
Yep.
Oh yeah, no, it's a great splashy card. I'm glad they printed that.
Get those Eldrassis on deck.
Oh yeah, those Eldrassis. Oh yeah, get 4 Eldrassis. Pick your poison, my friend.
Which one you want?
Okay, let's talk about manifest.
A quick thing like Zimone, Quandrix Prodigy, right there.
Oh yeah, Simone.
Simone or Quandrix Prodigy is a nice uncommon. Like, it's just basic, a basic Simic card. 1 tap, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. 4 tap, draw a card, and if you control 8 or more cards, then you draw 2 cards instead. Yeah. It's 1 in a green, so 2 mana. Legendary creature, human wizard for 1/2. Like, if you want an average non-threatening commander in Civic,
I agree.
This is a card. It's just simple. You just play this on turn 2, and then just have it on the field. Nobody's gonna waste removal on this.
No, it's non-threatening. I like what you're saying because it's very true. Because usually a lot of Simic commanders, they see it and you kill on sight. But this one is like, hey guys, I'm doing it. I'm just drawing a card. Oh, I'm drawing 2 now. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry.
Yeah, she could see play also in Brawl.
Oh, for sure. Oh yeah, it'd be cool to actually build a Brawl deck with her. Actually, yeah, you're right. Okay, Manifested Stage. I'm gonna briefly mention it. I don't think it's good for the tribe, essentially, for the school, but like it's not gonna see it might see some standard play, but I don't know. So it's split costed. It's green blue for a creature human wizard 2/2 that says when manifestation stage enters the battlefield, create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token. Put X11 counters on it, where X is the number of cards in your hand. I don't know if you guys want to mention anything, but I feel like it's kind of underpowered.
4 mana for 2 creatures. Is not like they're not. It doesn't have to be 2/2s.
You play him, then you play Quandrix.
If you have 7 cards in hand, it's a 7/7.
Sure. I know, but
it's not bad.
It's I guess
comparing it to like the other version of this, the blue red version.
Yeah.
Like the blue red version of this cycle.
Oh, yeah, of course. No. Anything's better than the blue red version of anything in this set. A lot of these Simic cards are pretty good in general. So yeah, no, for sure. No, it's better. It's definitely better. I don't know if it's the best one. It probably might be though. But yeah.
I don't remember the other ones.
We'll get to them. Let's talk about Quidditch. Strixhaven Stadium.
Quit.
Strixhaven Stadium. It is basically Quidditch. It's a
It's
three
capture the flag.
costed. It's capture. No, it's Quidditch. It's three. It's a 3 mana rock.
It's a big stadium and their wizard's flag. It's Quidditch,
It's
goddammit.
Quidditch, damn it. It taps for colorless. You put a point counter on Strixhaven Stadium. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to you, remove a point counter from Strixhaven Stadium. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to an opponent, put a point counter on Strixhaven Stadium. Then you have 10 or more point counters on it, remove them all, and the player loses the game. Let's talk about EDH utility in this.
The Revi,
Yeah.
the Revi you just stack the triggers, tap it a bunch of times, and then the last trigger hits, and you just kill someone immediately.
I was thinking Locust God
Atraxa?
because Atraxa too. I was thinking Locust God because you
Ridiculous.
put like a bunch of like
Yeah, but,
little.
like, whenever a creature you control deals combat damage, that's the trigger for the lose the game.
Yeah.
That's the trigger. You need to deal damage.
But por eso, but they're all flyers, so
Like in your case, yeah, but Atraxa wouldn't work. Like even if you have 10 counters, you don't make someone lose.
you need to smack them. That's true. That's what I'm thinking. It has to be like an attack phase type of thing.
Locust God would work. Just creating a million tokens is fine.
Yeah, it's like a million tokens. I hit you for 10. You lose, and then I'm gonna smack you for 40.
I mean, but by then you're probably already winning the game.
But it's a mana rock, and is it? So that's why I don't think it's that horrible. The only problem is I have to consider the fact that people are going to be start to smack my face very quickly to try to finish me off. That's the only problem this card has. But it's fun political stuff for Commander. So I don't like the political stuff in Commander, but I know people value it like Chris. So it's like, I say Chris because I know he values the political stuff, so that's what I'm saying. I don't. I'm like, I just want to beat you in the face or kill you. I don't need to get political about it. Unless I'm heavily losing and then I'm crying because I'm losing. That's when I get political. Let's see what else. Leonile Lightscrape. Okay, you want to talk about it?
That's the other card I was mentioning.
Yes, it's true.
It's basically it gives everything you control. What's it called? The mechanic prowess.
Prowess, yes.
It just gives your team prowess.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the other card that goes well. I was just looking at the cards that go well with the Blitz type deck and like Monastery Mentor.
Yes.
Which already has prowess, and the monks he creates have prowess. This and the 0/1 just have that base of creatures. You only need that's if you have 4, 4, and 4. That's 12. A Blitz deck would running around 12 creatures. So that's around correct.
So we could have maybe like a type of white weenie Spellslinger deck. Could that be a possibility?
In Modern, I feel like it is. In Standard, I feel like you're missing one more card. Maybe it's there. I haven't seen all the white cards, but I feel like 8 creatures for this is too little.
Okay.
You need one more thing to boost it up, and even then, you by the time you need to go off, it's too late for this type of deck because Blitz wants to go off on turn 1, 2, or 3. Maybe the card that Carlos mentioned that gives the power until 18. Maybe that could work. With this card, because even though it won't be that much of a boost, it'll be half the boost. It's still a very significant boost.
Yeah.
So it could work.
Anything else you want to?
I'm gonna call him the weenie pump. That's gonna be
this
his
for
name.
also for a feather deck could work pretty good.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's like it's there on the side. You start copying and retriggering and doing all that. So yeah, that's true. For a feather deck is I keep thinking feather because Fabiola has a feather deck. So I see all these cards. I'm like, okay, Fabiola might like this one. This was a little too underpowered, so she's not gonna use it because I like her deck very optimized because it's feather. It should be very optimized. So I consider what new cards could be in the. Let's talk about expensive gamble. Fervent Mastery. It's 3 colorless red. For a sorcery that reads, you may pay 2 red rather than paying this spell's mana cost. If you pay that cost instead, an opponent discards any number of cards and draw them many card. Disgusting. Search your library for up to 3 cards. Put them into your hand. Shuffle, then discard 3 cards at random. So Chris, since you like janky, crappy, weird, gambly cards, what do you think about this weird, gambly card?
I think it's weird at rare, but at the same time, it would be a bit too much for uncommon. I don't know, maybe that's just the way I think about it. I don't necessarily enjoy the fact that like your opponent can choose how many cards to discard. It's not like you're just wheeling his hand. He can actually like pick and choose. That's what I think is like the huge issue with it.
Yeah.
I think the card would have been perfect if it just wheeled your opponent. You know, it's just like, oh, you have something in your hand. Well, fuck you.
Discard your hand, draw 3.
Yeah.
Oh, you have 7 cards.
Oh yeah. That would have been way better. Yeah.
Even if he drew like a whole new hand, it's still better than like
picking and choosing.
Picking and choosing, exactly. Like even if it was just like I have 7 cards at hand, I'm still going to draw 7, but at least I'm getting rid of whatever it is you have in your hand if you had something of use.
Yeah.
The search effect, however, search your library for up to 3 cards, put them into your hand, shuffle them, then discard 3 cards at random.
That's cool.
Really does, at least for me, kind of make up for it because come on, you're searching for 3 cards.
Yeah,
sure, it is.
What?
What's that?
Gamble is 1 mana. This is 4
no,
mana.
but this is extra. This is extra gamble in a color that you don't get to tutor.
It's redundancy, to be honest. And in something like, let's say, Niv Mizzet, I would go off with this thing. I would literally just go off.
You're discarding at random.
Yeah, that's the only problem. I understand the concern of discarding random, but it's
like for like a card like the deck I've been very very excited about is like Osgir the Reconstructor from the commander set of this would be perfect because you discard 3 cards at random, but if you discard any artifact, you can just reanimate them. With him. And create two of the tokens. But that's fine.
See, all right.
But Gamble already does that, and like I just feel like it's four mana. It was just way too much.
What if it's a Rakdos deck? You have reanimation in mind, and then you get to discard.
What if it's a ready deck?
It has its
exactly.
uses.
What if it's a ready deck?
It has its uses. I know it has its uses. I'm just kind of disappointed.
For me, it's all for a reanimation deck. And also, you don't have to pay the 4. You're the one
you pay the 5.
Yeah, you pay the 5, and the other opponent gets nothing.
I almost feel like in terms of the cycle, this is like the weirdest one to have because the cost is just 1 less. If this would have been 3 costed, maybe it would have been too powerful, and that's probably what they play tested. They probably thought, 3, you get to search for 3, and then you gamble away 3. And then you give your opponent that choice. Maybe it's too good if it's 3 costed, so that's why they put 4. But at that point, like Carlos said, you just pay the 5 instead. Why would you ever pay 4? It's ridiculous. That's why this
the
one.
Only reason you'll pay 4 is your opponent doesn't have any cards in hand or has only 1 card in hand. You pay 4.
That's true.
There you get advantage of it.
Yeah, that's where you get the good advantage because that's the only purpose I can see ever doing that. But they probably play tested, like I'm saying. Yeah. They probably play tested it, and it was like, 3 mana is way too good. We gotta make it 4. So
and reanimation. This will help reanimation. You discard 3 cards that you want from your hand out.
Definitely.
Just bring them back later.
You don't get to choose. Like it's a random.
Yeah, but randomly, let's say you have 3 cards you want to discard in your hand, and then you look for 3 more. You're like, you could choose 6 from my hand, and then I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
You kind of skip their.
I did it on purpose. You really want to talk about this mana, like this mana dork?
I hate the mana dork.
Yeah, it's not a good
sequence.
It's
a rampant growth.
It's a rampant growth.
It's a rampant growth. Rampant growths are nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So emergent sequence, colorless.
Nice.
1 colorless and 1 green for a sorcery that reads: search your library for a basic land card and put it onto the battlefield tapped and shuffle your library. That land becomes a 0/0 blue fractional creature token that's still a land. Put a 1/1 counter on it for each land that entered the battlefield or your control this turn. The only thing
in other words, you look for a Dryad Arbor.
No, because it's basic land.
It's basic.
No, you can't look for a Dryad Arbor. No.
No. You look for a Dryad Arbor because
I get what you mean because it turns into a Dryad Arbor. Yeah. So the only concern I have, it's good because it's literally rampant growth. That's great. The only problem
you can just kill it.
Exacto. But maybe in Commander it doesn't matter as much. But for maybe Standard it might matter because it might suck for you to do a rampant growth, which is great, and then you want to be like
and then get them both. Shocked. Yeah. My bad. I forget we can't bolt in Standard. That's it.
Now you get shocked.
Now you're frost. You're frost now.
Oh, you're frost.
Oh yeah. It's actually really good against creatures. I enjoyed it.
What do you think, JP? You think it's still good regardless? Like I mean, it's good.
It's
but-
just it's just okay.
okay. I'm
Let's
gonna
talk
skip
about
the mana dork. Let's-
I'm gonna
No,
real
What?
quick. Just mention it because we're skipping it.
Okay,
Like,
fine. A couple of
Three
shout
green. It's a 3 and a green 2/5 creature elf druid. And you can tap it to add one mana of any color, and you can, or you can tap it to add X mana, where X is the amount of life you've gained this turn.
Yeah.
4 mana for a mana dork is just way too much.
Way too much.
Even if
No
you're,
matter.
if you're adding a million mana, it just feels like too
Yeah.
many hoops.
Yeah, too
and
many
the,
hopes.
and the double growth spiral now, the Eureka moment.
Yeah, the Rico moment.
It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
growth spiral
Oh,
twice.
Double
Yeah.
growth spiral.
Double growth spiral, but it's way too much mana for it. Even
Yeah.
though, like, yeah, it's cute, but you'd rather just do 2 growth spirals. I swear, like it's way
Yep.
better. Okay, Augmenter Polgist. It is a dual modal card, and this is the face
I
of
think
it.
it is.
It's one colorless, 2 green for a troll druid 3/3 that has trample as long as you control 8 or more lands. It gains +5/+5. And then on the back side, it has Echoing Equation. It is 3 colorless, 2 blue for a sorcery that reads, choose target creature you control. Each other creature you control becomes a copy until the end of turn, except those creatures are legendary if the chosen creature is legendary. Carlos, what do you think about these 2 cards?
This card is gonna see a lot of playing standard. That green troll
Yeah, that
paying
green troll.
3. Yeah.
I'm just
With-
thinking.
I have a pugilist. I make everybody a pugilist. And now, like, it's all
Yeah.
over now.
It's so
Yeah.
nasty.
It's
I'm
nasty.
just thinking about the Grinning Ignis combo. You just choose this. Choose Briggy. Everything's a Briggy. Non-legendary. Now I cast Grinning Ignis and generate mana.
Oh God,
You
Yeah.
generate mana. You're going infinite and you're generating
true.
mana. So just,
that's true.
what do you do? What do you now? Like,
Yeah.
Sounds beautiful.
Yeah, both
I'm gonna have
both
to do
both modes are
Both
very
sides are
good.
good,
Like
yeah.
I see like the face one, the troll, be like really good in standard, and I see
Mm-hmm.
the back one since it's more expensive in commander. That shit's really good.
or a janky combo deck.
Yeah,
You know, people will try.
for Simic
you mean my
copying
decks?
creatures, exactly. Yeah, for Simic copying creature cards and turning them into other stuff. Like, oh, I make my commander a bunch of times or something crazy like that. It's splashy and fun. Let's talk about splashy and fun with Body of Research. It's 3 green and 3 blue for a sorcery mythic card that reads, create a 0/0 green and blue fractal token. Put a 1/1, put X11 counters on it where X is the number of cards in your library. Now imagine that with the dragon. Jesus Christ. JP, go ahead.
It big,
Yeah, it big.
it chunky.
It's very chunky. They better remove it quick because that thing gonna swing at you fast.
It's fine. You know, you just
I
body
block
of
with the 1/1.
research, echoing.
Yeah, that's the
equation.
only problem.
It's
I
good.
know. It doesn't have trample, but still, big
Oh,
chunky
great.
creature.
Like green doesn't have anything to give you trample.
Oh yeah, they don't.
True.
Yeah,
Let me just play around through with it.
Yeah, that's true. There are ways, and it's big and splashy. It's cool, and then when you put the other dragon, it's like, oh, you make it double. It's 40 now, or it's like something ridiculous, you know? Yeah, no, it's
Can
cool.
we can
It's
we
cool.
talk about echoing equation and Quandrix though?
Echoing equation and quantics? Where are
The,
you?
the guy on the bottom. No, this guy. Like the echoing equation
Oh,
card, like the
What's up?
Yeah.
the blue card, and just put like stack it on Quandrix. You can just swing, and everything is like huge.
Pero it becomes a copy of.
Yeah, like you're just doing the same effect. You're
Exactly.
just making them 4/4s several times.
Exactly.
Oh wait, never mind.
Because you can stack
I
'em.
keep thinking about like Ultima Filo instead of
No, exacto. No, it's not
Yeah,
like that.
never mind,
It
never
literally just it turns them into 4/4s. So
We
yeah,
could talk about letter of acceptance, the totally not.
right. Let's talk about
Hogwarts.
a
the not
reference.
Harry Potter themed. like,
Totally
cards.
not Harry Potter.
Yeah, even
With
the
a-
card
with an
looks
owl.
like the
With an
little
owl.
accessories. You get-
It's in shape of
Yeah,
a little owl. I
It's
just
the
noticed
shape
that.
of a stupid little owl, and it looks exactly like the letters Harry Potter got in the first movie. So it's like a 3-costed one. It's a mana rock. Produce mana of any color, and then you sack it because you are opening the card, and then you draw a card. Yay! Look at the what que se llama esto? The text, the flavor text. The letter unfolded, inviting the twins to Strixhaven. Will saw a chance for arcane study. Rowan saw a chance for power. Ooh.
And then
Harry
they-
Potter.
That's like low key, kind of like foreshadowing, though. I
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool.
Like, can you imagine the possibility of like Rowan becoming a bad guy in the future? That'd be kind
Ooh, let's talk about the very confusing Triple X card because people were very confused in one of the chats I was in.
Yeah.
Crackle with Power, Mythic. It's a Mythic sorcery. It has Triple X and True Red. Crackle with Power deals 5 times X damage for each up to X targets. JP, do you want to explain this card because people
So
got very confused?
if you pay 1, then red, that's 3, right?
Mhm.
That's
Yes.
3x, but the X cost is still 1.
Yes.
So 5 times X would be 5, but X targets is
Would be
1.
1. Yes. What if you do 2, JP?
It would be 10,
Yes.
but it's only 2 targets.
Exactly. And then so on and so forth. So
Mhm.
that's the confusing part. I know like people saw it and they were like, wait, no, if I just pay what? I hit 3 targets for 5 damage each. It's so broken for 5. It was like, no, sir, you do not know how to math. But to be fair, the card it's weirdly worded, so it's a little confusing.
Yeah.
Carlos, what do you think about this card in standard? Because
No, I don't think it's gonna
No?
see play at all. It's
Okay,
too
okay.
costly.
too costly. I remember when I think Banefire was in standard, that saw some play, but it was only because you couldn't counter it.
You can counter
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So maybe that's
And
why
it was 3 as well, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
True,
3 or 4.
True. Yeah, true. Chris, what do you think? Crackle with Power.
It's a fun card, but like Carlos said, I don't really see it being that useful in standard. In Commander, I think it could just be fun. Just
Okay.
really fun. But other than that, I can't really think of anything else that I don't know. I feel like they could have totally switched it up, maybe make it a rare.
What's
I mean,
the
Crackle with
card-
Power, it's good in DH because, if you have a bunch of mana, it's a
infinite.
finisher. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
finisher.
Anything infinite.
Yeah, it's a finisher.
I
So
don't know.
it's good
I
for
just
that.
think they could have done better, like something better for like a standard.
Hey,
Mhm.
hey, you copy Briggy, do the grinding Ingus combo, you just generate infinite mana and then play this.
Oh,
not wrong.
True. You're not wrong.
And that's technically all just standard cards.
That's true. It's
Hmm.
it might be a little too difficult, but it could be
Mhm.
doable if it has enough consistency to it.
Very glass cannon
Grinding
kind of.
Ingus is your combo piece.
True.
You can make it a teamer deck that runs blue green draw cards
Mhm.
and have the troll version
Yeah.
of the card as another finisher. But
Yeah.
then you have the Briggy for the combo
Mm-hmm.
with the other side, and they just go off. I don't
I
know.
can see-
I'm just speculation.
Yeah, speculation. Okay, let's talk about how Wizards hates white. Secret Rendezvous.
Too
1
much.
colorless and two white for a sorcery that reads you draw 3 cards. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. That'd be good. No. You and target opponent each draw 3 cards.
Jesus.
Wizards.
And a
You're-
sorcery.
It's a source. Well, yeah, I mean, it was gonna be sorcery. Fair enough. But come on, Wizards. Give
I was
me
more mad,
harmonize. Give me harmonize. Why not?
I was
just
more
give
mad
it.
with the card because I thought it was 4 mana to do that. But at 3
Oh.
mana,
Okay.
to be honest, if I'm a mono white, I don't care if I'm giving you cards.
Oh, of course, because you're in mono white. You literally have no option because Wizard gives you like breadcrumbs and you have to take it. Like, what would you do?
Mhm.
Not play this card? Of course, you have to play it.
Give
Exactly. At this point, you're like, well, I don't have draw in white, so I need to play it no matter what. Chris, I know you mentioned that you really hated this card, so talk to me.
I mean, like I said, you pretty much covered it. Why does Wizards like constantly try to screw over white? I will never know.
Yeah.
Like just for like a second, I remember the same thing. Just like seeing the card and I see draw 3 cards and I'm like, what? And then you and target opponent. Oh, okay. I mean, what do I do with this? I mean, I guess it's okay for I don't know, limited, or something. Other than that, I just why would I? I mean, at least
Mhm.
from my personal experience playing like Magic Arena, I don't want to give my opponent cards. It always backfires. At least like it's always backfired for me. And in
Mhm.
Commander, I think it's kind of worse unless you're like looking at a deck that like I don't know, maybe another mono white. I don't know. There's just I can't think of an instance where it's like okay to use this and it won't like somehow backfire.
Yeah, the only usefulness it has in the age if you're literally playing just mono white, and then if you're targeting an opponent that is in a horrible disadvantage that you don't care that they draw 3
There's
cards.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
even
there's the
then-
politics element to it, I guess, too.
Yeah,
You
that's-
can be like, hey, like, don't counter my spell. You can draw 3 cards, I guess. And
Exactly.
why would you give 3 cards to the guy who can counter your spells?
Exactly. Yeah, that'd be
There's a card I'm gonna look for real quick.
sure.
Maybe like isn't there like a mono white dude that doesn't let your opponents draw cards?
Yeah,
Or-
yeah.
Or is that just players?
Oh, okay.
Alms Collector. If you're running like you play this Secret Rendezvous, then you
Yeah.
play Alms Collector or have Alms Collector in play. If an opponent would draw 2 or more cards, instead you and that player each draw a card. So you draw 4
a cool
cards
combo.
and they get 1.
Also, you get
okay.
Narset. You get Narset. Opponent doesn't.
No, but
only
again, if
draws
you having
one.
Narset, you're playing blue, meaning this would never be
Yeah.
in your deck. So that's
True.
the problem. That's why it has to
I
be
mean,
mono white exclusively.
I would personally play it just because it just makes everybody salty to just be like, I have a Narset and I can play my Secret Rendezvous.
I mean, yeah, I guess it has utility in that regard. But it's
I'll tell you a
just-
secret.
That's not
You could
even
only-
utility. The only
you can
utility is
only
making
draw one.
people, like
Yeah, yeah.
salty.
yeah, that's true.
it. That's
You
it. That's
you
the
draw
only
one, I get
utility
to
is to make people
for
salty.
3. Yeah. I guess in the Zorius, it's kind of good if you specifically have Narset.
No, it's not that good, but
Let's talk about Planner Cleanser because I think that's the card. Yeah.
Cleaner Cleanser.
Yeah, Planner Cleansing. It's basically the same thing. It's Devastating Mastery. It's 2 colorless and quadruple white. Sorcery. It has, you may pay 2 colorless and 2 white rather than playing this mana cost. If you pay this mana cost instead, an opponent chooses up to 2 non-land permanents they control and return it to their owner's hand and destroy all non-land permanents. Carlos, because this is basically Planner Cleansing, and if you're in EDH, you're just going to pay the 6 mana. So in Standard, Carlos, do you think this might see play if you're doing it for the Wrath of God cost?
no,
Yeah, I agree. Why?
nope. It's your opponent gets to choose.
Yeah.
First of all,
The-
what they're gonna return to their hands.
Yeah. There's a bunch of cards in this set that opponent gets to choose. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
because they want to imply this idea of learning and it's like mutual learning. So an opponent has a little bit more
Mhm.
say in the stuff you do. Like it's a collaborative type of thing.
School, yeah, school kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Play
I mean,
wise, that makes
are
sense.
they just trying
Yeah.
to bring fun back to Magic because they realize everything is just competitive assholes everywhere? Maybe, but you know what? I don't think that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, true. You know what? Good point. JP, you were going to say something.
I would play this as Commander.
No, for sure. I would definitely play this. It's Planner
Even
Cleansing.
before
and-
even playing the 4 mana.
But
Oh,
the
no,
thing is, you
yeah.
destroy everything you have.
Yeah,
No,
but
no,
if
no,
you're in a deck that doesn't really care, you're fine.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
or you get to choose an opponent that has nothing because they already had the clean board, or they have like 2 tokens. Be like,
Or
"Well,
you just do what I would do. I would
Okay.
just go ahead and what's her name? I'd just play an Avacyn, and that's it. We're good.
Jesus Christ, why? Why must you keep talking? Okay, let's talk about weird meddling mage. Silver Quill Silencer. It is.
It even has the same style of art.
I know it does. It's
It's-
definitely on
It is
purpose.
definitely on purpose.
Oh yeah. It's white and black. for
Wizards
human-
plagio poldo.
Oh yeah, definitely. Human Cleric is a 3/2. As Silver Quill Silencer enters the battlefield, choose a non-land card name. When an opponent casts a spell with the chosen name, so they get to cast it, so it's not meddling mage, they lose 3 life and you draw a card. JP, what do you think?
It doesn't stop you from casting a spell. It's never
Yeah.
gonna be as good as freaking meddling mage. At best, I don't. You're just gonna cast. Oh yeah, I'm gonna say lightning bolt, and they're like for in modern, and they're just gonna bolt it.
Yeah.
You get to draw. Like they lose 3, and you draw a card. So you bolt them, and you draw a card, but then
Yep.
you lose the creature, and that's best case scenario as I can see. Very rarely, maybe against a combo deck that just needs that one card. Like you say against what's it called? The combo deck that uses Lotus Bloom and the Mana Rocks ad nauseum.
Oh, ad nauseum. Yeah, yeah.
Against ad nauseum, you say like you play this and say Angel's Grace.
Yeah.
And as soon as they cast Angel's Grace, they lose the game.
Yeah. That's
Maybe-
the only. very situational moment.
That's the only, like, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's very situational, and for white and black, you're just gonna probably like if you're in white and black and you're playing modern, might as well just play Tidehall Scholar and just look at their hand and take something away, so they never even get to play it.
Yeah.
Even give them the chance.
Yeah.
And in Commander, even less so, because you need to choose this one specific spell for one time. Maybe you look Soul Ring. Hey, everyone's running Soul Ring.
And that's about it. And then it's like, okay, fine. Well, it's very low powered. Well, maybe no. I don't even think it's standard. Like it's
it needed
cool.
to be a 1/4 or a 0/4. You need to have 4 toughness for it to be viable in another format.
Sure. Yeah. Carlo, what do you?
In standard, it will just help you. I don't even know how, because the opponent's gonna remove it. It's gonna be removed immediately. It's just gonna give you 1 card.
Yeah, it's gonna give you 1 card. You literally pay 2 mana to basically draw a card and bolt the opponents. That's all it's gonna do.
You can like what's the name of that card with like the Nis art on it? Not Thoughtseize. It's like not as good Thoughtseize. What's it called?
Inquisition of Kozilek?
Yeah,
That's not good Thoughtseize.
Or Duress.
Duress?
No, that's what I said. Like not good Thoughtseize.
Okay.
I guess you could just like I don't know Duress and then turn to Silver Quill and get some value out of it, and then just cry because
Duress is a sideboard card too. So
yeah, exactly. It's a sideboard.
But in modern, let's say you Thoughtseize and then play like what's in their hand and then play this.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, you could get some value out of it. I guess. I mean, I guess you can just like reassure that you're gonna get the draw, but then again,
Meddling Mage.
Magic,
Meddling Mage just stops it.
Exactly, just stops it. So that's the thing. But
I think it's not a bad card for standard. To be honest, you give them 3 less damage. You draw a card.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I think it's like a good type of card where you just kind of play because you want your opponent to get rid of it. I guess you can say for them to just get rid of removal, I suppose. So you can drop your bombs later on. I think that's like a better use for it. But other than that, it's like
Abrasion Bower, stuff like that.
Let's talk about a good card that stops ultimatums. Talent Exam. It is a colorless and a blue for an instant. Counter target instant or sorcery. Search a player's graveyard, hand, library for any cards with the same name as the countered card and exile them. That player draws a card for each card removed from their hand. Carlos, tell me how.
Wait for someone to try to take an extra turn and be like, okay, how about you don't?
How about you don't for 2 mana, Carlos?
Ever let me just get rid of your win con.
I think this is a very, very good card.
Yeah.
All those ultimatums, all those cards that you want to get rid of immediately, for a good instant sorcery, you remove them. Yeah. It's very good. Yeah. So I think this card is going to see a lot of play in standard.
There was a Dimir card that did the same thing, right? I forgot the name. On Mordigo, was it called?
Yeah, that one cost 3.
Didn't do it like to counter it, did it? You could
no.
Like straight up.
It was just you straight up look.
Yeah, and there's also there's a standard card it just counters target or instance for just 1 blue as well right now. Mm-hmm. No, but this one for 2, and you remove all those cards.
Wait, which one's that blue card? Is that because I can think of Miscast, which is like 1, but the opponent has to pay 3, so it doesn't get countered. Is that like
it's another one. It's a standard. I'll look for it, but you just pay 1 and you counter instant or sorcery.
Yeah. Cool artwork. It's Luca fighting against Liliana. I mean, not Liliana.
Professor Onyx.
Professor Onyx. I'm gonna quickly mention Dream Strix, but it's like horrible. Well, it's maybe it's not that horrible because it's a 3/2 flyer, but for 3. But when it becomes a target of a spell, sacrifice it, which usually if you're targeting it is because you're gonna kill it, and then you get to learn when it dies, so you get some value back out of it. It's kind of interesting.
I think the cool part about cards like this that I've always said it's always really uncomfortable when you just look at a card that you want to get rid of, but it says when it becomes a target you sacrifice it. So it's just kind of like you just feel like you're wasting the spell even if you're not really.
Yeah.
So I enjoy that.
The card you can say is Miscast.
Yeah. Miscast.
Instance to blue for M21. Counter target instant or sorcery spell unless it's controller base with 3.
Yeah. It's mana leak for 1. For very specific
for instants or sorceries.
Sorcery. But since it's gonna rotate out, people might start using this one instead. Maybe. Or negate. Oh, yeah. Who knows? Whatever. I mean, it's almost the same as negate because it's not Yeah, exacto.
At
Why
least
would
the
you
gate
play?
has you covered with like planeswalkers and stuff though.
True, that's literally the only difference. Yeah, but beyond that,
That's
this
like
was.
I think it's a really important difference too.
Yeah, that's true. It is. It is, especially since planeswalkers are always used. Access Tunnel. It's a land, colorless. Add one colorless, and then for 3, target creature with power 3 or less can be blocked this turn. I'm pretty sure for very specific commanders that are
Rogue's
tiny.
Passage is just better.
Yeah, and Rogue's Passage is better. But if your commander is a weenie type of commander that does a lot when it attacks, this is an extra Rogue's Passage for you. And that's
Yeah,
kinda great.
I have a super situational thing. What about like the troll we saw earlier? He's like a 3/3. You got 7 lands MP, so you tap the thing, you make him unblockable. Drop your next land, bada bing, bada boom. You do 8 to the face for free, not free for 3.
But it has trample. Why would like?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It has trample.
Yeah, it's like when it has trample, you kind of want something to block it, but at the same time, I don't know. It's like a super situational thing. Like you just don't want to be blocked this specific turn or something. You just
Yeah. If you have a very specific, it's very specific situation or a very specific commander, you can kind of abuse this, like Alicia. You know, she has 3 power and she has to attack to do the ability. So it'd be cool, like, oh, unblockable, you know, and then I get to do my ability.
Yeah, because
not die,
is Rogue's
so-
Passage for like bigger creatures, I think?
It's
Not-
for
Rogue's
4
Passage-
and it's any creature.
It's any creature.
well, no.
That's a difference. But this one's for 3, so it's an extra Rogue's Passage for very niche cards. Let's talk about closing statement, because Orsov got a bunch of really good removals.
Removal, yes.
Yeah. So closing statement is 3 colorless, white and a black for an instant. This spell costs 2 less to cast during your end step, so it's very specific. This target creature or planeswalker you do not control. Put a 1/1 counter up to 1 target creature you control. JP, what do you think?
Rather just play Mortify.
Mortify.
Fair enough.
But the other ones, like we already see a little sneak peek right there. The other ones were really, really good.
It is. Yes. It is, especially for sack outlet decks or sacrifice decks. Yeah, and it's a lesson. And it's actually a pretty good lesson. The only thing is, it's a sorcery, but still it exiles, which is.
Oh, I was
way
talking about
better.
that one. I was talking about the one above.
Oh,
You can see right there.
Oh, this one, Fracturar. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. Yeah, we'll get to that
That
one.
one's good.
I'm just saying, in general, Orsov got a bunch of really good removals at different stages and different utilities in this set. Like in general, Carlos, what do you think?
It's a good card. I still think you have what's it called? That you pay 3, or I think it's 3. That's you remove planeswalker either creature.
Yeah,
and you could do
I mean,
it.
we literally have
the
we have the rare one that is an instant that you can pay 2 instead of 4. The opponent gets to draw a card. You get to destroy a creature, a planeswalker, or a creature. So
I think it's called blood something. Blood. Let me see.
Right. Yeah. No, but I mean in this set you have the other one too.
Oh yeah,
so
the
I'm
other one's much
just
better.
saying
Yeah,
you have a bunch of different options for removal. Actually, in draft, you get to draft. If you miraculously get to draft this set, I feel like you need to have black in your deck most likely, because there's so many good removals in different rarities that it's like it's stupid not to run black at the very least in terms of removal. Chris, do you want to add something?
I don't got much to add. It's just really fun removal, and I just enjoy that it's just a better version of what's the name of this card? That same colors cost 3, remove something. I used to run a lot on Atraxa.
Yeah.
Like it's just there's just I don't have anything bad to say about it, and everything that's good about it is like just right on the card. You don't really have to like read too much into it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna mention this card. I wish the last sentence was not in this card, but it is.
Dramatic finale.
Oh yeah, and that's why I hate it. But it's split
It's
costed.
potentially a great card, but then it's like
the last
sentence.
Yeah, so it's white, black for an enchantment that reads creature tokens you control get +1/+1. So that's really great. When one or more non-token creatures you control die, create a 2/1 white and black inkling creature token with flying. And I wish it didn't say lasting, but it does. This ability triggers only once each turn.
It'd be too strong otherwise. It'd be way too strong otherwise.
No, but come on.
It's more like you have no idea how easily I can break this card.
I know. That's what I wanted. Break it. Break the card. Why not?
It's
why
too
not?
strong.
No, I want to break this card. I wanted you to break it. And then I saw the last sentence. I'm like, it's nerfed. Boo.
This
I
would
guess-
be
It's fine. That way they could just like release the broken version of master sets, and we'll like it either way. We'll be like, oh
Totally.
yes, thank
Yeah.
you, Wizards, for like doing
Command-
the
like,
thing
if
we're
they did
supposed to do
something like this,
originally.
did something like this, it would be in a commander deck. Like if they did the broken version, it'd just be in a
Commander
It's,
Legends 2, and just
Oracle
put in
Scion.
very dramatic finale.
It's
Yes.
like my Daxos deck. They will make like a little weird Daxos deck
Yeah.
type of thing and just
Like-
include that. Yeah.
Chase's Ores of Scion just does this effect, but
This
like
effect.
less broken. Like
Yeah,
it's actually technically more broken, but like it's the same type of effect, except it
Exacto.
just doesn't have the restriction. That's why she was one of my favorite commanders of all time.
Yeah.
I love
then-
that commander.
using that with Afterlife. You create
Oh, yeah.
two.
Yeah. Afterlife.
Chase's Ores of Scion reads 1 black and a white. She's a 2/3 human legendary creature, human advisor. You can sacrifice 3 white creatures to exile a target creature, and whenever a black creature dies, you get a 1/1 white spirit.
Yep.
So
Very
kill
abusable.
you kill a black creature, you get a 1/1. Sacrifice 3 1/1s, exile a creature, and if you keep on doing like these creatures are black and white.
Yeah.
If you kill a black creature, you get a 2/1, a 1/1. Then you can sacrifice the 2/1 to make a 1/1, or you can sacrifice the 2/1 with the 1/1 because it's black. It's already white, and you can just exile. Painter's Servant is unbanned, so you can just make all creatures black, and whenever any creature dies, you just make a 1/1.
Yeah. It's very
So it's just-
abusable.
It's very strong. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why
I-
this card is strong.
I get it. I understand why it says at the end once per turn, because obviously cards like those that were printed back in the day could use it in a loop. So
Oh,
let's
oops.
talk about Necrotic Fumes very quickly, because it's actually a pretty good sorcery lesson. So it's a colorless and 2 black. Sorcery lesson is an additional cost to cast the spell, exile a target creature you control. It doesn't say target creature. Sorry, exile creature you control. Exile target creature or planeswalker. Carlos, do you think this is like one of the better or best sorcery lessons that there are out there?
I don't know if I gotta see more about these tokens that you could create, because
Yeah.
exiling creatures you have just to exile a creature. I think they're better removals.
Yeah. Even in
But
this
what
set, I
about
feel there is better.
exiling one of your creatures to get rid of a planeswalker?
Yeah, but if you-
Especially something like a Tibalt. Because last time I played like against a deck that was running Tibalt, all it did is like, oh yeah, I killed your Tibalt. Okay, let me just like reanimate it or like bring it back to my hand and cast it next turn. And I'm just like, okay, I guess I'll just like die. Like, there's no point.
Debates.
yeah, but
debates.
remember lessons. Most of the lessons you're gonna have them on sideboard, so you have to activate. You gotta have a card that activates the lesson, so you can play that.
The learn. So you have a little
Yeah.
creature, janky creature that learns, and then you get the necrotic fumes. You probably kill that janky creature, so you can destroy something else. I like the exile part of it. That's the only thing that kind of like I dig. But even then, there's pretty good removal all around in this set. So you have options. But the good thing about this one being a lesson, you can just have the one in the wish board for that niche situation where you desperately need something to remove. And you grab it. I think it's one of the better ones, even with the downside of having to exile a creature you control, because you can just exile the crappy creature that you use for the learn.
Yeah. For learning, is a good sideboard card.
Yeah, it's really one of the better ones, like top tier for sure.
Yeah.
There's also a lesson. It's a rare. Basic Conjuration. It's a colorless into green for a sorcery lesson card. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest at the bottom of your library in a random order. Gain 3 life. Chris, what do you think?
I just think it's cool.
Yeah.
But at 3 mana, it's a little weird for me. I feel like there's a bunch of cards like, you're looking at the top 6, which is still like at least anywhere in between 3 to 2 cards more than most other green cards that have the same effect will let you look, because it's usually like a 3 card or 4 card effect.
Yeah.
And it also gains you 3 life. So I guess you're adding like a few extra cards and gaining 3 life in exchange for just 1 more mana, which I think is good. But I don't know. At sorcery speed, it still kind of bothers me a little bit. But then again, I guess not everything can be an instant. I know, but
I think all lessons are sorcery speed. I swear there hasn't been an instance.
I think so.
Yeah,
I'm not.
and
I haven't
think that might-
confirmed, but I think so.
I think it's done by design probably, because it's a lesson. You're a slow wizard, magical learner person, so maybe you're not still powerful enough to do an instant. So maybe that's
Still
why
collect the company.
Oh yeah, of
Well,
course. Yeah.
I feel like it's really bad.
Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead. Go ahead.
It's Lead the Stampede. 2 and a green sorcery.
Yeah.
It's a common.
Yeah.
Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal any number of creature cards from among them and put
Yep.
the revealed cards into your
Yep.
hand.
Yep.
Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a common.
And it's way better. Yeah,
I mean,
agree.
It's way better.
I was thinking of standard, but honestly, I did
Yes,
not
no,
take
like-
into
like-
account that it's a trash rare. I
Yeah.
did not
That's
take
not the
that
problem.
into
The
account.
problem is
Mhm.
you could have just made it
Uncommon.
an uncommon or a better version of Lead the or just a very similar version. Let's just make it Lead the Stampede.
But I
and it
feel
would be-
the problem was, and this is what they were doing when they were creating this mechanic, they clearly wanted to make nerfed versions of other cards because
But-
they're lessons. Get it?
Lead the
And-
Stampede isn't standard.
I know, I get it. But since they're afraid of the whole thing that you're basically wishboarding these cards, they are considering the fact that I don't want to make it like
Yeah.
they're probably thinking I don't want to make it too broken. I don't want to make it too broken because if I make one single broken lesson, they're gonna put a 4 off in the wishboard and they're just gonna tutor for that stupid card all the time. And there's gonna be a mess in standard, and then we're gonna have to ban a stupid lesson. And they're gonna make fun of us till no end. So they're probably their thought process throughout the lesson thing was we're just gonna make them all kind of bad, and that was it. I
Just
feel
run
it's
Lead the
stupid.
Stampede.
They don't want to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
Throne of Eldraine again.
Yeah, definitely. I agree, JP. This should have been Lead the Stampede, or it should be better than that because it's a stupid rare. It's stupid that this rare is as bad as it is. But I feel that was probably what they were thinking all these time while they were doing the lesson mechanic. I don't know. Like, what do you think? Do you not think that was basically the thought process? It has to. Be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to be.
I still go with my thought process of
Mhm.
these are going to be sideboard cards with the
Yeah.
learn.
Yeah.
This-
So even
this
in
is
a
just
worst
for
case
learn.
scenario, it's like, oh, it's not Lead the Stampede, but I get to wishboard in a special circumstance where I need to find a creature or something. So, and I have 3 mana available. I don't know when that would happen. I don't know. Like I would see
Never.
necrotic fumes happening because it's removal. And it's searchable removal. But this one is very specific. It's shit rare. I know. It's bad rare. But let's talk about Fracturar.
Fracturar.
Yes, that was
Oh, yeah.
really good.
Destruye el artefacto o encantamiento o planeswalker objetivo. Just destroy target artifact, enchantment, or planeswalker.
I'm kind of
Instant
disappointed.
speed for 2.
instant speed mana for instant speed for 2, a white and a black.
Yeah, that's really
It's just
good.
it's
Yeah,
just
that's
really
So good.
So good. I
Yeah,
love
so
that card.
The,
Yeah,
the
it's-
only thing disappointing about this card is that there isn't a Spanish word for planeswalker.
That is true.
That's the only thing that
That is true.
makes
That's the first thing I noticed.
That's
disappointing.
true. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Camina planos.
Camina planos.
Trota planos.
Yes,
Trota.
trotaplanos. I like trotaplanos. Yes, definitely for sure. I mean, yeah, universally, this is freaking amazing. Obviously, Wizards know that because they made this one of the promo cards
Mhm.
you can get. So they are very keenly aware that this is something that people are going to be using in standard, in
Yes.
sideboarding, or even mainboarding because it's so modular that you probably can even mainboard this, like at least a copy or two. Like
Yeah.
I feel so.
I feel like there's a lot of
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff that's rotating out, sure, but there's a few enchantments that remove
There's
your
no-
stuff.
nothing's
which I
rotating
think is
right
great.
now.
No,
Yeah,
nothing's
not like
rotating
right now, but I'm
Mhm.
talking about. I guess I'm just thinking a little bit ahead.
Sure.
Yeah.
But either way, you have a lot of enchantments. So always forget the name of it, like Bane something. It starts with B.
Yeah.
The one that comes down for
Oh, yeah.
3 and it just like removes your stuff. You can get rid of that.
Mhm.
Planeswalkers are always an issue. You
Yeah.
have
Binding-
to take all
Binding of the
annoying
Gods.
little shit.
Binding of the Gods, even though the mode that you care about is the first one and they're gonna do it, but at least they don't get to ramp, so I guess there's
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And in your index, you get to destroy it before they get to abuse it. So
Oh,
that's-
those
Yes, and
omens.
then there's also the enchantment, which I don't know if it's become much of a problem in standard, but I've just personally had a problem with it a lot of times, and it's the enchantment that you put down, like it has landfall, you put down a land and either it brings in a cat or
Felidar Retreat.
yeah, like that thing is so annoying. Every time I encounter it, I just like in the decks I'm playing, I just kind of don't have a lot of ways to deal with it.
Oh yeah.
Because I was playing like Demir Rogues and stuff like that, and I'm just like, okay, then what do I do now? I either gotta like kick this dude's ass fast enough,
And
or
this
I'm
thing,
dead.
yeah.
and this thing for control is gonna be so good for all those binding lights, all those what's it called? The one that cast out all those cards
Yeah.
that excellent binding.
Mhm. Sharknado, if
in
they
his-
actually cast it.
Sharknado
Yeah.
in
that's-
historic. Oh yeah, this is
Oh
this
yeah.
is a
No,
good
no, no.
card.
It's a staple. It's a staple.
Yeah.
It's really good. Depending on the format, depending on the decks that are around, it's gonna be heavily used.
Mhm.
Okay, let's go to like a spicy one. Double Mayor. It is a
Oh,
Simic
that's
card.
good.
It's a green and a blue. It's an instant. It says,
Anyone who's gone to college, that card, just like the mention of that card just causes
Yeah.
like a little bit of pain. It's like
Yeah,
double
it's a little bit of a little trigger. Yeah, not gonna lie. It's an instant that reads copy target creature spell you control. Except it isn't a legendary if that spell is legendary. A copy of the creature's spell becomes a token. So
Oh
Chris,
look,
That has to be mythic.
the theoretical Briggy Teamer deck with Graining Ingus.
Yeah.
Look, another.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just
another
memes.
enabler. Yeah, no, it's got
That
yeah.
card is nasty. Nasty.
Yeah, it's really good.
In
Even
any format.
in any format, because even in Commander, you're like, oh, I'm gonna cast my Commander. You're not doing anything. I hold priority. I'm just gonna copy my Commander. I'm gonna have
I
two.
guess.
Just cause screw you. I don't
Mhm.
care. Like, why not?
Two
Or like in
Keenans?
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah,
goodness.
exactly. To anything. It's like literally to anything.
Yeah.
And in decks that I know, there's some decks that care about copying your commander. There's just another one, or like it's a big dumb creature. I get to make two of them, 2 Crater Hoof Behemoths, 2 Eldrassis, even though you don't get the cast trigger. But it doesn't matter because
Yeah.
it's 2 stupid Eldrassis. Like for 2,
Annihilation.
oh, this is freaking amazing. Like it would have been better, but I know it would have been a mythic. If this said copy target creature spell, period, and then make a copy of that, that would have been a mythic, and I would have been
No,
insane.
Hold your horses.
Hold priority. Hold priority while you cast this. Remember
No,
this,
no.
people. Hold priority while you cast this. Our Landlord writes, Double Mayor in coma. Cosmos Serpent. Shut up. No. Disgusting. You
I'm not
cancerous
actually, like,
person.
If after Prime Trigger Vanifar, if it's just way too oppressive, which
Yeah.
I think it is,
Oh, yeah.
I might make Coma.
Coma is cool.
Vortex?
Enjoy Coma.
I don't like commanders that I can't counter, so I might just
I
try to
really
rip your
want
card
Coma.
instead. But we're gonna talk about
That's
Pilgrim
exactly
of the.
why we play Mizzet in this house.
Pilgrim of the Ages.
Yeah, sure, why not? It's white, and it's wizards doing what they always do. Pilgrim of the Ages. Yeah, it's like 2 colorless and a white for a 2/1 spirit that says when Pilgrim of the Ages enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic plains card, reveal it and put it to your hand and shuffle.
Why?
For 6 mana, you get to return Pilgrim of the Ages from your grave to your hand. The only
Why?
cool thing, the only cool thing about this is it's ramp, quote unquote. It's not really ramp, but it's quote unquote ramp. The other cool thing is it's not dependent on the opponent, and most of these cards that make you search plains cards, they always are dependent if your opponent has more lands than you. So I
yeah.
appreciate that in a mono white deck, in a mono white commander deck specifically, because that's the only place you'll ever see it. It first gets you a plains forever, like it will always give you a plains, and if they kill it, which it's easy to kill, you get to return it back. Granted, for a ridiculous cost, but you get to return it back if you literally can't do anything else, and then you get to recast it again. So I don't know, Chris. I know it's horrible, but at least
I guess. Yeah.
you get to at least ramp without depending on your opponent, and
I don't know,
it's
man.
reusable even in Commander.
I just feel like even like especially in Commander and Mono White, there's just much better options out there, anyways.
Okay.
Like
there's land tax. I get it.
No, yeah, there's the enchantment that brings you search for.
there's also the guy that comes down for 4, Keeper of the Accord, I think it is. Like he comes down for 4, but he's still just generally better.
Yeah.
Knight of the White Concordat, or was it Concordat?
Yeah.
So, Knight of the White Orchid. That's
Yeah.
the one.
Yeah.
I'm all for redundancy, but it's a spirit that doesn't even fly, man.
It'd be too powerful. It'd be too powerful if it flew. That's what Wizard
Actually,
was thinking.
I feel like it would be actually balanced. Actually
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I know.
It should fly and have lifelink too. Screw it. Make it make it playable. Goddamn it.
It's 2-1.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just fine. It's
So
like
a
for
3-mana flying 2/1 would have been nice with that ability. That's actually would be
it's
strong.
decent for like white, very white, cheap, budget mono white EDH deck. That's the
I would
only
even
place.
dare say that if you put it if it had flying, it'd be good for like limited.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
still.
Yeah. Okay. Let's skip ahead. I will talk about Detention Vortex because I think it's kind of interesting. Detention Vortex is just a white for enchantment aura that reads each enchant non-land permanent. Enchanted permanent can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can be activated. Pay 3. Destroy Detention Vortex. Only your opponents may activate this ability and only as a sorcery. What do you think, Carlos, about this card?
Boo.
I think it's an early game
Yeah.
help
Yeah.
for maybe those knights that are running around,
Sure.
but I don't like it that much.
JP, do you like it or not?
Skip.
Okay. Wait, Chris, do you like it or not?
Enchant the planeswalker with it? Maybe. Garbage.
Okay. I will give you another thing to think about. Luris. They'll destroy it, but then you get to cast it again, and then they'll be like, God damn it, I need to keep paying 3 for this. And it'll get to a point that they can't pay 3 for this.
It's annoying. It's like a tax that you can just keep on like attaching to stuff, but
I feel like
again,
with Luris, it might be good. Might be.
Again, I just feel like it's still giving your opponent the option too. And
Sure.
while usually I'm like a big fan of like, oh, I get to have my opponent choose a thing in like Commander, this is just not.
Fine, fair enough.
I feel like at that point you might as well just play what's the name of the freaking card?
Okay.
Comes down for 2 instead of 1.
Yeah. There's one that for 2.
I mean, it just
and it's for
enchants
3.
creatures instead of permanents. I guess that's like the
I get
big
it.
like upside to it.
Yeah.
But I would have preferred to just have to pay 2 or maybe even 3 mana and just enchant any permanent without the 3 mana downside.
Okay. Let's skip ahead. Mascot Exhibition. It is a sorcery lesson for 7 colorless. Create a 2/1 Dementor. Create a 3/2 red and white spirit creature token and a 4/4 blue. It's a Dementor. I'm sorry, guys. That inkling is a Dementor.
Oh,
that thing is a Dementor.
I got
And,
you. It's
and the spirit
Dementor,
is basically the other one. What do you
the
call that?
Patronum.
The Patronus. Thank you.
Patronus.
Yeah, Patronus. And the 4/4 is a blue and red elemental creature token. What would that be?
Because come on, the stag just makes the Patronus thing.
Oh, yeah,
like,
that's what I'm
logic,
saying.
like 2 on the spot.
Just on the spot. That's why.
I can't remember any elementals in Harry Potter right off the top of my head, but maybe that's like the whole point. Like it's not Harry Potter, guys. I swear.
It's not. We made one thing different.
We made the scarves, but these guys have elementals, and Harry Potter doesn't. We're better. I swear.
Yeah, we're better. I swear. Well, okay. So it's a lesson. It's 7 costed. It's a mythic splashy card. Carlos, what do you think?
I don't like this card for standard. It's too heavily cost, and I don't see too much value in it.
JP, what do
you got ultimatums for 7.
Yeah, JP.
This sets Tree of Perdition.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Damn, I like that.
Wow.
It's you get this as a mythic, and you're just gonna be sad.
Yeah, you're gonna be so sad.
I completely agree.
Like
You know what? Maybe the only place, and I'm giving credit to this card, the only place you could see play in this, it's in an EDH risk deck, because then you get to proliferate, you get to make more copies of this. But even then, there's literally better cards that make much more tokens for for less mana than this. So that's why I did hear an argument in one of my Magic the Gathering chats where they were saying, "Oh, this is a great card for Tron." No, for Tron.
wow.
They were like, "Oh, this is good for Tron because turn 3 you make 3 bodies," and they're like,
Yeah,
"But Wurmcoil
get
Engine,
natural
but card,
draws."
but Ugin. Why would you ever play this on top of those other cards literally mentioned?"
And again, a lesson card, you'll just play it from the sideboard, and it's a late game thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I need something to finish you off. Okay, here are my flyers.
Yep, exactly. Let's talk about this splashy exponential growth so we can go to the good one. So exponential growth, double X and double green for a sorcery. Until the end of turn, double target creature's power X times. It's cool. It's splashy. But it's not gonna see play anywhere except maybe EDH. Let's talk about Vanishing Verse because that thing is spicy.
I mean,
Really, you're gonna?
And you got Primal Might.
I guess exacto. You got Primal Might.
you got stuff with like with like trample that can really use like the extra like let me just finish you the fuck off.
The problem is the double X.
Yeah,
and
Primal Might.
Like,
you just got
Primal Might is so much better because you get to fight the creature. So you kill its removal
That
and
is
then you
true.
boost it. So that's
And
why I
it's
like
one,
it better.
It's 1 and X.
It's
if
1
I'm not
X.
mistaken.
Yeah, this was just big and splashy and dumb. Vanishing Verse. It's white and a black for this cool Dementor looking card that says instant exile, target
Exile.
mono permanent. Carlos, tell me
I
how
love
good this is.
that card so much when I saw it. I was like, I need this card.
JP.
It's a strong card.
Yeah, it's
Nothing
very
much.
strong. Yeah. Carlos. They go Christopher. Perdón.
It's the same thing. There's nothing more to say. It's a strong ass card. I enjoy it.
Would it be sideboarded or mainboarded?
Oh, it could be main. Right now, there's not much multicolor cards.
Yeah.
This card literally says Embercleave FU.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it says also the other one, the tree. I forgot the name of the tree.
The Elder, you got all the trolls. You got all the growth one.
All the monocolor stuff. You get to be like,
there's
nope.
a lot of monocolor.
Okay.
Yeah.
These
and then
are.
Hold on. I wanted to.
Oh.
Never mind. Don't worry about
Wait,
it.
let's talk about this one. Selfless Guild Weaver. It is a dual modal card. Two colorless, a white human cleric creature. 2/3. It's kind of interesting. Exile Selfless Guild Weaver. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. The backside of the card is called Deadly Vanity. For 5 colors and 3 black, it's a sorcery that reads: choose a creature or planeswalker, then destroy all other creatures and planeswalkers. JP.
Is there a lack of like board wipes in standard right now? Because this is the second board wipe, and there's a third one coming soon.
Yeah, no,
Like-
and it's even in those colors, not counting the other colors that have like strictly first board wipes. Yeah, I agree.
Honestly, I feel like Deadly Vanity is just kind of bad.
It is kind of bad because it's way too much mana, and we
It
have
is bad.
Doomscar. Doomscar is literally the best board wipe right now by a mile and a half. So all these other board wipes are like they pale in comparison to Doomscar. So
Yeah.
We could just skip this one. Just go to blot out of the sky to just.
What about that human cleric up there though? That gives everybody indestructible. He comes down for 3. That's actually not that bad.
The thing is that there's a 2-costed spirit that does the same thing.
But in standard.
No, it's not in standard. So fair enough.
I'm just
Fair
kind of
enough.
thinking about standard. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's like amazing or anything,
But
but I think. Wait, oh
but
god, it's a rare.
But I know you got the dog and the other enchantment.
True.
And
That is true.
the dog you sacrifice for nothing, and you give it, I think, protection. It's indestructible. And the other one you just pay 1 and you give it protection from a color, and then you could bring it with Luris.
And it's in the same colors, so that's true. I gotta give the point to Carlos. There's better cards. Okay, Blood Out of the Sky. X, white and green. Sorcery. Create X, tap 2/1 white and black inkling creature tokens with flying. If X is 6 or more, destroy non-creature, non-land permanents. So another board wipe that doesn't remove creatures though, but it removes literally everything else for basically 8 mana. JP?
No, nothing.
It
Just
removes planeswalkers.
just-
That's about
just
it.
Nothing.
It removes planeswalkers.
So
I can
common.
only
Mana
think
is
of one situation in which this works.
Okay, go
And
ahead.
like it's just so specific, it barely happens. It's like there's like one of the decks that I've played against in like an arena when it like goes the fuck off because you couldn't like aggro it hard enough. It just drops like, it once had like 6 planeswalkers on the battlefield, and I was just like, okay, well shit, I wish I had something I could do against this. That's literally the only situation in which this works. Other than that, I don't know, maybe you can get rid of like a great henge.
Oh, we got a Planner Cleanser, and I get that this makes creatures so you can attack the control player, but there's a
But you
Planner Cleanser already.
And you
And
gotta
you-
pay 8 to remove.
Pay 8. It's so much mana in those
I also
colors.
don't like the way it's worded, and that, I mean, I guess that's just like nitpicking at it, I suppose, but I don't like the way it's worded, in which you can easily confuse this for like create like the thing and then this. I don't know. I just don't like the way it's worded, and
Yeah.
it's too specific with the non-creature, non-land permanents. You're just gonna get rid of like what planeswalkers, maybe a few artifacts,
Enchantments.
enchantments.
Yeah.
Let's talk about these 3 spicy mythics. Let's start with Mila, Crafty Companion. Colorless, white, legendary creature fox. Whenever an opponent attacks 1 or more planeswalkers you control, put a loyalty counter on each planeswalker you control. Whenever a permanent you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, you may draw a card. And then it turns into Luca on the back. It says Luca, Wayward Bounderer. For 4 colorless, 2 red. It has 5 loyalty. The +1, you may discard a card, and if you do, draw a card. If it's a creature card discarded this way, draw 2 cards instead. For -2, you get to basically reanimate a creature. It gains haste, and you exile it at the beginning of the next end step upkeep. And then -7, you get an emblem that reads: whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, it deals damage equal to its power to any target.
I'll say this for John, since John isn't here. Need
Yeah, no, he's gonna love
That's
that.
what he would say. Yeah.
He's gonna love the crap out of it because it gives loyalty counters to planeswalkers. And if he's desperate, he could do the Luca and I guess reanimate
Draw cards and
something.
reanimate, I guess.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess so. But yeah, definitely John would obviously want this completely for his deck. I feel like it's good for Commander. The Luca is good because it's redundancy for the other Luca as well. So now we have two Lucas that kind of like utilize like the one pognifies the polymorphs and the other reanimates. Or I think does the other one reanimate?
No, you search your
No.
deck for a
One
creature.
polymorphs and this one reanimates.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. So we're getting to a point where we can make a weird Luca deck with like big chunky creatures that you get to like cast from the deck for free essentially and then reanimate them. So there's something there maybe in the works. Christopher, what do you think?
I just like the Mila side. Mila is just
Mila
like,
is pretty powerful.
it's just what just totally makes this card for me. I mean, Luca's like, at least in my opinion, Luca's just like, pretty cool. He's okay, but Mila is just what really like just does it for me, especially the card draw in white. Boros in this case, really.
Yeah.
I think it's just kind of perfect at that point.
Cool. Carlos?
The only value I'm trying to see in this deck, this card is adding it, trying to see it with Sultai Ultimatum, and just bringing them with that card since it's monocolored.
Yeah.
And just casting the Luca side for nothing, but
true.
Yeah. But I'm just looking at what you could reanimate or do with it. You don't have too many creatures in Ultimatum.
Yeah. JP, were you gonna say something or?
No, like it's just so many colors by then. Soul Titan, white and red is just.
No, bro, remember you could have like one copy of it, just like you have Valky, and you run already red there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to talk about Mavinda.
Mavinda is very interesting because a lot of people were debating this on Reddit and stuff. So let's get to this one. Mavinda, Student's Advocate, 2 colorless and a white. It's a legendary creature, Bird Advisor, 2/3, flying. For 0, you may cast target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard this turn. If that spell doesn't target a creature you control, it costs 8 more to cast this way. If a spell would be put into the graveyard, exile it instead. Activate only once each turn. Thankfully, it's not like once on your turn, or its sorcery speed is 1 each turn. So that's cool. JP, you were going to talk about it. Go ahead.
Feather.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the Feather Enabler. Yes.
This is you put this in Feather. And you enjoy this in Feather, and you're happy with this in Feather, and
it's gonna hug Feather, be like, I will protect you.
Yes, this goes in Feather. That's it. That's all. It goes in Feather.
But Christopher, anything you want to add?
Not really, man. I mean, it's just birds protecting birds. I enjoy the concept of bird decks, even though I haven't like gotten down to like build one. But birds, man, birds are just cool ass creatures, and this runs great in Feather. Like that's the only thing you can say about this. It's Feather.
I will say this. A lot of people argued because I read a lot of these specifically on this card, the Reddit comments. People were arguing the fact that a lot of times Magic players see the card and it might be a really good effect, but they focus, and we've done this. I've done it severely
on the downside.
On the downside instead, and not realize that it's a pretty good upside, all things considered.
It's Snapcaster Mage for white.
Exactly.
Repeatable.
It's repeatable too because it's 0, except you have to pay 8. It's like, you're about to pay 8. It's freaking horrible. But it's like, okay, fine. But if you can pay the mana, then you literally can cast anything, which is fucking amazing.
Use this with Ephemerate, exile her again. Ephemerate goes to rebound, so it never touches the graveyard. So it's exiled. Then you can just, since this is entered again, it's a new entity, so you pay 0 and do something with another one. Then when in the upkeep, when Ephemerate comes back, you can target something different.
And you can do it on opponent turns too. It's one each turn.
Exactly.
Turn.
You could do it twice in my turn and your turn. And in Commander, you could do it 4 times, 5 times.
Exactly. You can be like, oh, they're going to target it. Well, protection spell.
Yeah, no, or the one that makes you draw a card. That when you play that spell, you draw a card. You keep drawing cards. When it's your turn, you got like 6 cards, full hand.
I feel like it's a really cool card. I feel like we've all done this where we like hone in on the horrible aspect of the card. I've done it all the time, but it's interesting. Like mechanically, it's like you said, it's literally a Snapcaster.
It's probably the strongest white card in the set right now.
Yes, definitely. I would argue the same thing completely.
Yeah, that was Mila.
Okay, let's talk about Gnarled Professor. 2 colorless, 2 green. Creature, Treefolk Druid, Trample. When Gnarled Professor enters the battlefield, learn. It's a 5/4. I mean, not much to say. It's just 4 mana for 5/4 as Trample. Thank God, and you get to learn. Whatever.
He's
That's
a gnarly professor. It's a plant that helps you learn. I enjoy.
Class is in
That's
season.
And then now we have the Phoenix.
Yeah, and we have the
It's just-
Phoenix.
The Learn Phoenix is just
It's
the Phoenix with the
basically-
Learn mechanic.
Exactly.
That's-
It's Phoenix with the learn mechanic. It's mileage may vary. I don't think it's gonna be used
I
at
don't
all.
think it's gonna be good.
It's a 2/2. That's maybe if it was a 3/3, it's kind of better. But other than that,
And
it's
yeah, and that's like they're trying to force the mechanic on you, but it's not gonna work. Like I feel. Oh, let's talk about Biblioplex because I feel that it's very interesting. The Biblioplex. Okay.
It's
Library
reminiscent to
Alexandra.
it's reminiscent to Library of Alexandria.
Yes, sir. So it's 1 colorless. So I think it's better than Alexandria in that regard because I don't think Alexandria taps for mana. Right?
Yes, it does.
Oh, damn it! Never
Isn't it
mind.
like right there?
I don't
It's
think it
right
does,
there
actually.
under.
And it's
Oh,
right there.
right under. Oh yeah, it does.
It,
Sorry,
yeah,
guys.
tap
My
for
bad.
1 mana.
I don't have the money for it, so I don't know what it does. Anyways, it's two colorless to tap it. Look at the top card of your library. If it's an instant sorcery card, you may reveal it and add it to your hand. If you don't, you may put it into your graveyard. Activate this only if you have exactly 0 or 7 cards into your hand. JP, go ahead.
Library of Alexandria is better, but that's banned everywhere.
No, it's expensive as hell. Like, you know what? For a nerfed Alexandria, I feel it's not that bad because you get to put it into your graveyard. I don't think Alexandria gets to put it into the graveyard.
You just draw the card.
You just draw the card.
If you
only...
have library says if you have 7 cards, you can just draw a card.
Yeah, exactly. If you have 7 in hand, then you get to draw. But this one has 2 benefits. First, you may put it to your graveyard. Second, if you have 0, so if you're super losing or if you're super winning, you get to get that card to your hand. So I feel like, sure, for a nerfed Library of Alexandria, it's kind of cool in like Spellslinger decks.
I feel like
for
Jorah
sure.
can use this.
Right, I would use
in a flashback deck. It's also good.
True, because you can put it in the graveyard too.
Yeah.
I feel like it's
And
I feel-
you clean your deck in Commander. You just throw it out. You get your next card.
Again, for a nerfed Alexandria, I think it's,
Yeah, definitely. Like anything's but like
Yeah.
Alexandria's just Library of Alexandria is just way too strong.
sure, of course it is. Okay, so there's a flip card that I don't know what it does, so I'm gonna click on it.
I think that
That's the one that you tap it to discard a card or tap it and each
that has
opponent
different modes.
cards.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
it's not good.
Okay, well, it's spicy. That's all I think. Okay, Pestling's Cauldron artifact. You tap it, discard a card, create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token. When this creature dies, gain 1 life. You, for 1 colorless, tap it. Each opponent mills X cards, where X is the amount of life gained this turn. Ugh, okay, I see what you mean. Tap 4 colorless and tap it. Exile 4 target cards from a graveyard. Draw a card. Ugh. The backside is a sorcery that says for 3 colorless and 2 green, return to 2 target creatures, land, or planeswalker cards from your graveyard to your hand. Each player gains 4. Exile Restorative Burst. Disgusting. You're right. We shouldn't even talk about it.
It's
I don't.
bad.
Yeah, it's bad. I don't know if you guys want to say anything at all, but I feel like it's really bad. Like, I don't know.
Bad card.
I get it.
Nah.
Yeah, let's skip. Let's skip.
Nah,
Let's skip.
the only possible good thing about it is like card draw, and everything else does it better.
That card is strong.
This card's strong. Okay, look. Orchid Warlock. Sorry, Japanese. I don't think I read this one. Oh, it's not Japanese. It's Chinese. I'm sorry. It's 2 colorless, black for a 3/3 human warlock. You tap it. You search your library for a card. You put it into your Jesus. You search your library for a card. You put it in your graveyard and shuffle your library. If it's an instant or sorcery card, which I don't care anymore, I stopped at the first time. You put a 1/1 counter on Auric Warlock. Yeah, that's strong. That's literally N2 right there, like that.
Entomb. Yeah,
I'm about to
Entomb.
dump that dragon spell. I'm about to
Entomb
dump that
on us.
dragon spell. Oh my god! You know what? That would be kind of cool. A weird Rakdos deck where you have that stupid janky dragon spell and you just start dumping it like crazy, and then be like, "Oh, I remove 5. I get a big splashy dragon with my stupid warlock on the side." Yeah, no, it's kind of bad, but it's kind of funny if someone actually builds the deck.
But yeah, but like
I like the comments.
Yeah,
I'm talking about this in Maran for Commander. I still prefer CDC, but I will like it nonetheless. So White gets a mythic the less you recast Wrath of God for 12 mana, but black gets a rare that is just repeatable and 2 mana stick. Seems fair to me. At least they work together. Funny how Wizards makes the white one just able to flash back spells that target your creatures every turn. People will be hyped, but making it strictly better or even costly, people instead think the card is bad. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. It's kind of ridiculous that you have in 2 mana stick and that you have, like he said, a 12 costed.
I mean,
Wrath of God.
to be fair,
Okay.
flashback in white is like it's unique.
Fine.
So on that side, then fine.
Fine,
But 8 mana, yeah, it is true.
It's a little.
8 mana is.
Yeah, I can understand why people will be upset of how narrow the other card is and how this one is like, oh, literally anything. Oh, you want to dump an instant or sorcery spell that you probably can't
You bump
reuse?
this as well.
I bump him as well. Exactly. There's literally no downside, and it's a rare too. The other one's a mythic too. You gotta consider that. Fine,
Yeah.
it's not legendary, so it can't be a commander. But whatever. You're not really gonna use this as a commander. This would strictly be in a 99.
It's a good onside card.
Wait, it's
though.
legendary?
It's not legendary, but it
Oh.
doesn't need to be because you wouldn't use them as a commander. Like, not really. Carlos or Christopher, anything you want to add to this? It's pretty. Yeah, it's like they said, in 2 mana stick.
Stupid.
Yeah, stupid. It's stupid.
Stupid good.
Stupid good. Let's see what else. What other rares? Oh, this one I kind of found it interesting. It's
For
Day-
me,
Day-month
those cards
Titan.
what kill me are the
Yeah.
mana cost of two to the
The
two,
split
two,
cost.
Yeah, the split cost for all those.
Yeah, it's true because then you don't have to strictly play Golgari in that
Mm-hmm.
instance. So Daemon Goth Titan is the split mana for Golgari, so it's black green, black green, black green, black green creature demon. It's an 11/10 that whenever it attacks or blocks, sack a creature. What I think about this card is really it's good because you don't need it's not like that petrified dragon or petrified dinosaur that came a few sets back, because every upkeep you have to discard a card, so it was always a downside. This one, you just put it there. You just put it there, and whenever you strictly need to attack or block, and you know it's going to be a good block or attack, that's when you do it, and then you get to sack. So you get to keep it there on the board. It's very threatening, and then you don't. There's no downside to leaving it there. But then if you need to do like an emergency block or an emergency attack, whatever, you get to do it, and then that's when the downside comes in. But I feel like it's really strong.
That there's if I'm not mistaken, in Kaldheim, there's a fling effect.
Yes.
You can fling an 11/10. It's a 4 mana. Well, you can still fling you could get possibly 2 of these pretty easily.
To
You
me,
just
that's
fling-
like the best part. It's a 4 mana thing that you can fling. That's amazing.
No,
Yeah.
the thing is, you could just have Skew Swarm.
Yeah.
You got all those tokens for free every
then
time
you
you put a land down, and then you just attack every time or block whenever the hell you want.
That's true. I agree. Yeah, it's what I'm saying. Like it's pretty good for 4 mana, and there's no
it's a downside.
Plus,
There's-
wasn't there like a thing where you can I think I don't know if this is like a card. I think we saw it yesterday in the chat where you can just kind of sack that and make a bunch of like 1/1s or something like that, or like an
probably
X-type
up
creature.
here. Probably up here. Let me go check. Yeah, maybe somewhere around. Oh, let's talk about Artist of Infinity because that was spicy. I like it.
So you do that, and then I Tormod script your graveyard, and then you won with nothing yourself, so you have no cards in your
But
hand.
you know, I'm not gonna be a bad player where you're gonna have a Tormod's grip in my face. You're gonna be like, "Well, I want to do this." Well, yeah, I respond. Screw you. But Artist of Infinity reads 1 colorless, black, 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 and green, green, green for an instant, which is kind of spicy. I like that it's an instant. Thank God. Exchange your hand and graveyard, and then you exile the card. JP, what do you think? I know if you have something stupid on the board, I'm not gonna do it. But regardless,
if someone can exile your graveyard in response, you really, really, really suck. It sucks so bad.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's the type of card you run with, like in Commander.
Yeah.
Alongside Praetor's Council, I won't say it replaces Praetor's Council, because you still have to exchange, and Praetor's Council just puts everything into your hand, and then you just have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah.
I'm gonna, since we're running a little bit late, I just realized we can skim a few.
Okay, I want to talk about Sedgemoor Witch with Plum the Forbidden. It's right there under.
This one, the Elder Dragon.
No, under Sedgemoor Witch.
Oh,
The wheat.
sorry.
One
You
more.
passed it.
This one?
One more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one, please?
So plumb the forbidden. 1 in a black. As an additional cost to cast a spell, you may sacrifice 1 or more creatures. When you do, copy the spell for each creature sacrificed this way.
Yeah.
You draw a card and you lose a life.
Yeah.
And Sedgemoor Witch, which has ward for pay 3 life.
Yeah.
Magecraft. Whenever you cast cast or copy an instance or sorcery, you create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token. When this creature dies, you gain 1 life. These two cards combo with each other, not infinitely, but like they work off of each other because you can sacrifice if you have let's say 5 creature tokens, you can sacrifice all 5, create 5 copies, and then create 5 pest tokens again.
Yep. And then you don't lose any life because you're gonna get it back.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you basically drew 5 cards for 2 mana. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So these two cards work with each other, and I find that very interesting and very very good. We're comparing this to a young pyromancer because it's in fact is very much reminiscent to a young pyromancer, except it has menace. It has a way to protect itself, and it technically. And you don't have like with young pyromancer, especially in cube, you don't want to swing in with it because it's your engine and you don't want to lose it. But this is a 3/2 menace, so swinging in is like you're not losing much, and you're actually like you could actually either kill a creature or deal direct damage. This is very very interesting.
Very I agree. Chris, were you going to say something or add something? I don't know if you're going to add something.
No, I just think the Witherbloom Pledge Mage is also just kind of a fun thing. I'm really enjoying the whole concept of like Magecraft cards that possibly gain you life.
Yeah.
I'm just really enjoying that.
I mean, if you get to storm off, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you know me, I like storming, so I like Magecraft all the way. It's just, depending on which ones are good. I want to skim through a few. Kala's Blood Mage, 2 colorless, black. When he enters the battlefield, choose 1. Create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token. When this creature dies, you get 1 life. You draw a card, you use 1 life, or you exile target player's graveyard.
Generally good for cube, but otherwise,
it might be maybe used, but it's a 2/1 for 3. You're basically gonna do the second mode or maybe the third mode. You're not gonna use the first mode.
90% of the time, you're just gonna draw a card.
Yeah, you're gonna draw a card, but for 3 mana, well, mileage may vary. Poet's Quill, 1 colorless, 1 green, 1 black. I'm sorry. It's an artifact equipment. When it enters the battlefield, you get to learn. Disgusting. Equipped a creature gets +1/+1. Has lifelink. You pay 1 colorless and 1 black to equip. I mean, it's a learn.
It's not that good, yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about the mythics. Blex Vexing Pest. It's 2 colorless, green, for legendary creature pest. Other pests, bats, insects, snakes, and spiders you control get +1/+1. So it's a universal lord for all these ugly, gross Golgari creatures. When it dies, you gain 4 life. It's a 3/2.
All of these pests?
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
They
And
should
then-
have added rats, to be honest, but maybe that might have been a little bit too much.
So then the backside, search for Blex. It's 2 colorless and black. For sorcery that reads, look at the top 5 cards for your library. You may put any number of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Lose 3 life for each card put into your hand this way. Chris, talk to me.
I don't got much to say. I just enjoy it. It's a modal card. I just like the fact that it's a creature and a sorcery in the back.
I like it's fun for both modes are fun. I like that it's a lord. It enables like a very pesty type of Golgari deck where you just stick a bunch of crappy bats, insects, snakes just because. And even the backside, you get to search them.
It's just perfect. I think it's absolutely perfect because I love building jank, and this is perfect for jank specifically, especially because there's like a lot of cards out there that kind of like, if you just, I think it's a really cool card for building decks in Commander, because sometimes you're just sitting down and you're like, hey, I want to build a deck revolving around X, but I don't really have a commander that I like for that.
Yep.
I've seen this with Snakes. Snakes has a lot of good commanders, at least I feel, but I think that the one that people like using is like a 6 cost or something like that. So I think Blex is like perfect if you just want to stick Snakes in there. I haven't seen a bat commander, so this is like also like a fun thing to do. Just like, oh, I don't have anything to build bats. Let me just stick this in there. I feel like pests aren't prominent enough to just like pull out a whole deck revolving around them, but I think it's something that could maybe work in Standard, kind of, because there's like a lot of Golgari cards that like put little pests on the ground, and it's nice to have something to pump up your creatures. Like you can like let's say turn 3 Blex the Vexing Pest, and then turn 4 since you're playing Golgari do the other spell that gives your creature tokens, I think is it, or your creatures +1/+1.
Mhm.
So I think it could like be a really fun janky thing to build in standard, especially in arena where you have like the different what's it called? Actually, for brawl, that would actually be really fun for brawl.
Yeah,
Now that I think
yeah.
about it,
Yeah, it's just fun to grab all those uncommons and commons that you probably pull
It's-
from
it's
other
just-
sets and just stick them there.
to me,
Also,
it's
you,
just a genuinely fun card. That's it.
Carlo,
and you got to remember that this card might work more with the upcoming sets too.
true.
That is
Definitely.
We are going to Innistrad, and
Not even
Okay.
thinking about Innistrad. I'm thinking about Forgotten Realms. I wonder if like
As well.
Forgotten Realms will have stuff that'll like help here.
Spiders,
I know
probably.
spiders, yes, because I know it's like obviously spiders are like a great thing in D&D. Ooh, I hope we get the blinking spider. That'd be nice. But
Okay, well, let's go to Belladraw's Witherbloom, which I think is a spicy card.
Mhm.
5 colorless, black and green. Elder Dragon, flying, 4/4. At the beginning of each upkeep, at the beginning of each upkeep, which is kind of good. Create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token with when this creature dies, you gain 1 life, and then you pay 10 to untap all lands you control, activate only once each turn. JP, tell me how to abuse of this.
You play Teamer Sabertooth. It's a 2 and a green for
Yeah.
a 4/3 that says 1 and a green. You may return a creature card from your battlefield to your hand, and Teamer Sabertooth gains indestructible. So if you have enough lands and you're in Golgari colors for Urborg and Cabal Coffers, you just tap for the mana, play this, untap the mana, bounce it to your hand, play it again, untap your mana, tap for mana. Do that. You can like you're only limited by your life, but by the time you do this 2 times with a Cabal Coffers type effects or doubling mana, you're in green, you're in black, you just get a lot of mana easily.
Yeah.
You can just cast a giant Exsanguinate for the win.
I love that I said, JP, how do I break this? And he actually had the combo already in mind. That was the best part.
Yeah.
I didn't plan this. I swear, guys, we didn't plan this. I just assumed JP already has something in mind with this card because
if
it's
it
just so
involves
abusable.
tokens, and so like if it involves anything abusable via sacrifice, JP already knows combos with.
And come on, it says pay 10 life and tap all lands once each turn. That's insane.
Once each turn. Oh, but if you keep bouncing him,
Exactly.
you just do it the same turn because it's
Yeah.
technically a new entity.
Exactly. No, I do it. Guys, we know it's broken. It's broken for EDH. It's not gonna be good in Commander. Now I want to talk about this one.
I think you meant it's not going to be good in
Jadzi?
standard.
Yes, just the Oracle of Arcavios. 6 colorless and 2 blue for a legendary creature, human wizard 5/5. Discard a card. Return just the Oracle of Arcavios to its owner's hand. It has Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a non-land card, you may cast it by paying 1 rather than pay its mana cost. If it's a land card, just put it into the battlefield. No freebie, don't worry about it. Journey to the Oracle is the backside. For 2, guys, it's 2 colorless, not 1. There was an error with the wizard, with the borderless one, but it's 2 costed. 2 colorless and 2 green for a sorcery that reads: you may put any number of lands from your battlefield, from your land hand onto the battlefield. Then if you control 8 or more lands, you may discard a card, and if you do, return Journey of the Oracle to its owner's hand. Chris, talk to me about this Simic card.
I mean, am I the one who has to talk about it? You were hella excited for this, and JP
Yes,
already
okay.
like told us last time, like, man,
I
you
can
can just bypass.
Go
like,
ahead, go
commander
ahead.
attacks.
Okay,
Go,
so
JP, go
so in Commander you'd be like turn 2, a rampant growth type of effect. So you have 4 lands in play. By turn 3, play this, and if you have 4, let's just say you have 4 lands in hand.
Yeah.
Let's just say you have 4 lands in hand.
Mhm.
You put all 4 lands, discard a card, and put it back in your hand.
Yeah.
And then play it for 8 mana.
Yeah.
If they kill it, you put it back in your command zone, and then you can instead of doing the Jadzi, like paying for Jadzi, you just pay for the Journey Oracle, Journey to the Oracle, and you start technically bypassing commander text because you're going to be paying 2 less.
Yeah.
So it's not bypassing. It's just your commander tax is technically 2 less.
Yeah.
at all moments, as long as you're doing the journey to the Oracle.
All I
Exactly.
see is extra turn cards.
And the other thing
Exactly.
is
That's all I see.
Storm. The other thing is Storm. Like
Storm.
Mind's Desire and Brain Freeze. Each copy you can trigger it, so you can pay 1 and just start casting all your deck immediately.
I agree with Chris though. It's just for extra turns as well. Like
Yeah.
you're just gonna be like top decking extra
Extra turn
turns.
cards.
Yeah.
That's all it is. That's all.
Bunch of Storm, extra turns, just a bunch of really good Simic cards, blue
Draw
or green
cards.
cards. Yeah,
Draw
It's-
like
yeah.
land draw,
Insane.
extra turn,
Yep.
cast your deck.
yeah. It's really fun.
Mhm.
Because I broke my Kefnet deck, so I'm basically just gonna do this instead. Just have Simic cards now and basically do the same thing. But it's fair because it's 8 mana, guys. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Carlos, anything you want to add? I don't know, man.
No, for standard, it's very hard for it to
I
see play.
know that Seth is gonna make a video with this stupid card, and I can't wait to just see what he does. I know he's gonna do a stupid against the odds, and he's
Yeah.
probably gonna stick Time Warp because remember, Time Warp is gonna go to historic. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna try to make a
Really?
stupid extra turns. Yeah, he's gonna make a stupid extra turns deck with this. I'm pretty sure. There's gonna be enough. He's gonna make
Actually, this goes just fine with the extra turn like thing that they have going on in standard too.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That there's justification. The problem is it's 8 mana. That's why I'm thinking like it's gonna be like an against the odds. I'm gonna quickly mention this gross card that people say it's kind of good, but I don't like it. Tempted by the Orchid.
Auric.
It's Auric. Sorry.
I thought you were gonna say Tend the Pest, and I'm like, what are you talking
No,
about?
no. It's a colorless blue. For sorcery that reads, for each opponent gain control up to 1 target creature or planeswalker that player controls with a mana value of 3 or less. I debated this, I think, with JP or somebody. I think it was JP.
It's too good. Like it'd be too good if you just had no.
I
no mana.
know. If it was blatant thievery, it'd be too good. But why can it just not be? Like someone argued a YouTuber argued, or someone in the comment section of somebody's video. What they argued was, I am very upset that the way to boost other colors or kind of boost white was to nerf blue as a result. And I feel that if blue is not sticking by green, it's just bad. It's just all of these blue cards have been so awful. And it's fine. I get it. Blue has been universally loved, and they have a lot of the best cards in like Magic in general. But lately, all I'm seeing is, I get it. They're trying new things with blue, and that's cool. That's fine. But I just feel that everything is super nerfed because they're so afraid of printing like another broken blue card. And this one, clearly, I understand if it was literally just anything for 4 mana, it'd be insane. But 3 mana, why can't it just be 4? Because the thing is, there's very few planeswalkers for 3 or less. There's not a lot. If it was at least 4 mana value 4 or less, we'd be cooking. It'd be like, I can steal at least some decent command, like decent planeswalkers, decent creatures.
I feel
But
like
for
it gets banned.
you know what? Maybe people will start bitching, and then I would probably.
I feel like it would easily get banned.
Fine,
And
I guess fair enough.
To be honest, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because of the prominence that Arena has like had recently or whatever. But man, I literally cannot go into a Magic the Gathering page, especially the Magic Gathering Arena page I'm on Facebook.
Okay.
And I can't just go into the page. I just scroll like a few posts down, and there's already someone saying, "Oh, this card is too powerful. It has to be banned."
Yeah,
and I'm
but that's
like, dude, but what do you want? Every time that something isn't good for your specific archetype, you just want to ban it?
Yes. No
Yes.
graveyard hate. No graveyard hate. Graveyard just
Never.
exists.
Just let me do my stuff.
You say that, but
I
either way,
understand.
we
No, I
all
understand.
know it's still a joke, and that you understand the fact that hey, we can't just like have one archetype go over the rest. You
But
know,
this has been a problem since Arena kind of started because they have more data now, like Wizards, so they get to ban faster. But it's also a lot of the bannings do have to do with the community bitching and moaning at cards. They don't let decks breathe anymore
Because of the meta game.
because of the meta game. I get it because Arena, they play so accelerated that, like a month of Arena is equitative of like 2 Pro Tours that they take in terms to realize that a card is broken. I get that, but people get to a point, like Chris said, they just start bitching and moaning at literally anything that is like, oh, I played, this stupid random deck and they had this random freaking card and I hate it now and I want it banned. And then 3 other idiots are like, I remember, man, I played against that jank that literally only wins against my deck, but I don't want it anymore. So I
Like
get it.
this one. Oh, I have like almost a perfect win ratio against every other deck, and this one deck beats me. It's not fair. What do
So
you
it's not
mean? That's
fair.
like that's how it's supposed to work.
Exactly.
No,
It's
but it's just that I can't win.
triangle, guys.
I
Triangle.
can't, I can't win.
Right-
and can't
Right
Yeah.
now in Arena, I've been only trying to build decks that go anti-meta. I have to
Yeah.
build something that destroys small things and that can survive aggro
Yeah.
with control. And I created like an Esper kind of thing,
Mhm.
and
You
it's
played
still
Esper for a
so-so.
while. I kind of like
That's
that.
good. That's
though.
good.
Like
Yeah.
I feel like you've stuck to those
and
colors for a
and
while.
I've been trying to put Nico, trying to give Nico some work because nobody talks
Yeah.
about Nico. He came out and nobody plays with that
Mhm.
Planeswalker. So I have like 2 of him. I have like Ashiok and Teferis, and I've been trying to put a lot of removals just to survive the aggro game and the freaking Demir.
Yeah.
So it's been giving me progress, but there are sometimes
Are
Angels deck
you've
that
been sticking Yorion in that, or just playing it? As
I have it with Jorian and I have it without Jorian. So because I've
Okay.
tried with
Which
both
which
ways,
one has
and
been
of
like
and of
working better
course I
for
have
you?
a Doomscar. So that Doomscar saves that saves a lot.
I'm going to quickly mention Reject. It's a colorless and a blue. Instant
Mhm.
counter target creature or planeswalker spell unless the controller plays 3. If that spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting to its owner's graveyard. It's mana leak, very specific mana leak,
Bad mana league.
very bad mana leak, but it's it's standard
something.
mana leak. So
Mhm.
maybe it could be
it's
used.
2 mana. It's 2 mana.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's
Mhm.
good. It's good.
So-
A good sideboard card.
Mortality Spear, instant. 2 colorless, green black, exactly, instant. This spell casts 2 less if you gain life this turn, which is very doable in the Golgari school. Destroy target non-land permanent. So if you get to do it for 2 mana, that's
Oh, yeah.
spicy. That's spicy. I don't know how viable these pests and all these shenanigans are gonna be, but I feel maybe even at 4 mana, destroying target non-land permanent in standard,
As
maybe it's
instant
not
speed.
at instant speed. It's not that horrible. I feel
Yeah.
even at
Yeah.
4 mana, right?
I like
Liam?
that card.
And then you have Ritual of
Oh yeah,
Elimination.
let's talk about that. So
Destroy each non-land permanent that costs 2 or less, and then you start adding green or black and any combination for each one.
Yeah, that's a nice little mini board wipe, and
That
then
adds you mana.
adds
It's a
you
ritual.
mana. Yeah, that's really good, and it's a rare. It's a rare too. So it
cool.
won't be too expensive. Yeah, no, that one is good in I feel in standard and in EDH. Like if they make like a little token deck, you get to blow everything up. If it's an aggro deck, you get to stabilize and then get ramp on top of everything. So that's the best part too.
It's a
That's
good board wipe.
really good, really strong card. Okay, I'm almost there. Guys. Was anything spoiled here at a rare? Okay, Rush Rebirth, instant. Green and black. Rush Rebirth, instant. Choose target creature. When that creature dies this turn, search your library for a creature card with lesser mana value and put it into the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. JP, tell me how broken this is.
It's fairly strong. You can just search for one of the creatures that when they enter, you can reanimate a creature, like Phyrexian Reclaimer, Rebirther.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which one. It's basically a reanimate on a stick, so you can just do that and just reanimate the stuff back. It's an instant, so it's nice, but I think there's in terms of reanimation, there's just a few easier ways to just.
Yeah.
I guess this is not really reanimation per se. You're just searching and putting it into play, which is still nice. It's still it's very good. It's just very, very solid. A lot of the green black cards here are just extremely solid.
Yes.
Carlos.
I like this card a lot, especially if somebody's gonna destroy my Heartless Act, any creature of mine. You could play that card and bring something back for it.
Yeah.
You know,
Would it be used in standard? Do you think? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's like a little bit too running through hoops. I don't know.
Yeah, like I said,
It's
it's black
useful.
green. Yeah, you're gonna destroy warning clicks, any creature like that for again using ultimatum, or I have a death touch deck with poison counters.
Oh, I'm such
that I
an
could-
idiot. It says choose target creature. It's not my creature.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's better than I thought. I literally I kept reading choose target creature you control. but it's choose target trigger creature,
Yep.
so
No.
it is really good. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
okay, you're
It's a
right.
very good card.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. I take back what I said. It's really good. Chris, anything else you want to add?
Nah, man.
Okay.
It's just-
Well, let's get to the ingenious mastery. X, 2, and a blue. Sorcery. You may pay 2 colorless and a blue rather than playing this spell's mana cost. If the 2 colorless and blue was cost was paid, you draw 3 cards, then an opponent creates 2 treasure tokens and then scry 2. If the cost wasn't paid, you draw X cards.
this is one of the better ones.
It is
Mhm.
one of the better ones,
Scrying 3
but
cards versus scrying 2 and giving them 2 mana is
sure.
is comparable. Like the other ones just give them way more cards or way more mana or
Yeah,
like,
it's a slightly better divination at rare, which it's at rare. But yeah, I mean, but your
Politics
opponent
and
gets
Commander,
to
though.
ramp.
But if not, then you just draw X cards.
Yeah, but when if you're drawing X cards, there's better
Mana
ones.
6 mana for 3 cards is not a good rate.
Exactly. That is the problem because when you're paying 6 mana to draw 3 cards, anyways, if you're not choosing to
It
downplay
should
the cost,
it should have been X 1 in a blue,
yeah,
and you may pay 2 in a blue rather.
yeah, yeah.
Then,
But then it would have been super amazing divination, and then you wouldn't even mind that the opponent is getting 2 treasure tokens.
because the divination would be at 2 in a blue.
Yeah.
You draw
So
3
they-
cards, and that would have been nice. But but otherwise, it would have been on par in terms of mana for 5 mana for 3 cards.
Yeah.
And that's decent.
Mm,
6 mana for 4 cards is still decent.
yeah. Mm.
And 7 mana for 5, it's better in like this just here is not as good as it could be.
No, of course not, for sure. Like none of these, I feel like they've been any good. Maybe the
Red one,
board wipe. Maybe I don't even know like
the
which
red
one.
in specific decks.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Yeah, Carlo.
I think all Magic has been nerfing a lot of cards. Too
Yeah,
many
they're-
bans recently, so they're trying
See, they're-
to.
Yeah, I feel like that's literally that's kind of like in a nutshell what's
like
kind
it's
of
kind of
happening.
just like I
Which
guess
is
you can say
good.
resetting the
No,
power.
Yeah, it's good.
Agreed. It's
actually
I
good.
think it's good.
And like some people have argued, not everything has to be for commander. Like we love our commander format, we love having splashy cards and legendaries and cool splashy mythic cards. But some people have argued, you know what, not everything has to be for commander, not everything has to be for modern. Some stuff just has to be for standard. And we have to get to that point again where some standard sets or some standard cards have to just kind of work for standard and kind of stabilize standard because it has been running rampant for years now.
And yeah, you got Historic, you got Brawl, you got so many Pioneer,
So
you got so many
yeah,
formats.
you gotta consider those formats for sure.
I think that
Limited.
what's happened to
Mhm.
the formats recently has been kind of like a careful what you wish for situation in which a lot
I
of
agree.
times I was one of those players who would just be like, oh, like, I don't know, just standard just doesn't feel as powerful as modern. It doesn't feel as powerful as commander. So I just
Yeah.
rather play those formats instead of playing standard. And
Yeah.
now standard is like super ridiculous. And I'm just like, maybe they could slow it down a little bit. Like it's definitely like one of those like careful what you wish for kind of situations. Like we actually gave you what you wanted, and now all we have is just us banning a bunch of cards. We have Oko happening, and it's just
It's like, I wish standard was stronger. And a finger in the monkey's paw curls.
Yep.
That Throne of Eldraine set was
Just
too much.
you don't get, what is this?
Carlo, yeah.
Yeah, like I mentioned, that Throne of Eldraine set that was too way broken set.
Yeah. They undervalued the adventure mechanic a lot, and
Yeah.
then they realized, we can never undervalue new mechanics ever again. Lesson learned.
adventure
And they come
Lesson learned.
they were the companion.
get it,
Companion, yes,
lesson
exactly.
learned.
Oh, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So they
Lesson
made them
learned.
all into lessons.
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
Uh,
we're
But
learning.
I don't know if you guys saw the tournament this weekend or
I did
past
not.
weekend, I think.
Go
So
ahead.
there were a lot of varieties of decks. There were like a lot of ultimatums. There were a lot of rule.
I prefer
So-
Old Ties Ultimatum. Sounds better.
Someone
what it does.
came to top 8, I think, with Gruel Food. That was like, whoa, where did this
Oh.
come from?
Cool.
So that
What?
was something fun.
Gruel food.
Yeah, I
Yep.
think it was Gruel Food.
That's pretty spicy.
I like
What I appreciate of Arena is since so many players play the game. Granted, obviously the ones that end up in the tournaments are like the pro players, but
Yeah,
it's
same.
good because there's so much variety because there's so many people playing that it breeds a lot of more creativity that they would in a pro tour where they play test for weeks on end on secret and they know
Mhm.
which decks will be the ones that want to push hard. And it's the logic that if we all play the same deck, well, maybe there'll be an anti-deck to beat the deck, but that's kind of about it. But with Arena, everyone's playing whatever the hell they want, and then they'll brew something really random, and then people be like, "Huh, damn, that's kind of cool." And then,
Yeah.
And
For
then
this,
just kind of improve on it, really.
for this meta, I think for this tournament, the winner was a challenger. He wasn't even from the pro league or from the rival league.
that's really
That's
cool.
awesome.
That's
That's
awesome.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing is they show how many games they play. I think Javier Dominguez played like 15,000 games or so.
Jesus, see, yeah, no, if you're dedicated as a player, you have to play so much, man.
And he plays so many games. And the other guy played like 5,000 games, 6,000 games. And like you play a lot, so you got to play different decks, and you get to invent more than having to buy cards to test them and everything. So I think Arena brings that flexibility to the standard game.
It's really cool. I mean, it's killing paper magic, but it's fine.
I mean, not really.
Yeah.
No, it's
Well,
not. It's not. It's not because people are buying paper magic.
Basically,
in droves
I test everything in Arena and then I buy it physically, and then I'll build that.
Sure. No, that's true. But I mean, I feel like regardless, people are buy paper magic. I was just making a joke. They're probably buying more than they did before, surprisingly.
Surprising.
Like even if they made like a move like putting Commander in Arena, I still think that like it would maybe have like an impact, but it wouldn't really like kill paper. Like
no, for sure.
It's just that the collecting aspect is like it's always going to be there, and on top of that, one of the things that is kind of underestimated, I think, is really important: the feeling of playing paper Magic with a friend. Just nothing beats it. Just having your opponent in front of you, and sometimes I feel like one of the things that Arena doesn't have that playing paper Magic does is it's kind of like a poker kind of thing in which you just kind of
it's a chess game.
You look at your opponent and you're like, oh, does he look worried? Is he like fidgeting too much?
There's the mental game.
What does he have in his hand? Like I personally love that aspect of the game, even though I'm low-key kind of bad at it because I do have like a lot of tells. I'll sometimes, when I like do have something good in hand and I just want to like go off, you'll see me like start fidgeting. I'll like move around my cards and I'm just kind of like, just play your turn. Come on, hurry up.
I have realized that when I play against you in draft.
Oh yeah. I have all the tells during draft because in draft specifically is where I get like so like it's like nerve wracking because I'm like, okay, I know what I'm playing, but I don't know what I'm playing.
For sure.
I'm still in that little streak. I haven't lost a draft, a pre-release in like 8 pre-releases that I've played.
Yeah, I think I've topped most of mine too.
Yeah, the last one I remember that I think I got like 3rd place, which is fine. But like the Throne of Eldraine one, I remember is just like I barely got there. Like I lost the first one horribly, and I just had to win every single other game until 0. It was a great battle.
Okay, guys, we're approaching the 3-hour mark. John is going to kill me when he sees the video, but hopefully he appreciates that we discuss basically all the spoilers, or at least the the really splashy important ones. Carlos, where can the people find you?
Right now I don't have anything yet, but soon I'll be creating my Twitch account and I'll be starting streaming.
Awesome. Okay, Christopher, where can the people find you?
You guys can also find me on Twitch at Crisscross13. Hopefully, by the time that Carlos has his account ready, we'll be playing some Magic together. Maybe even some Magic Legends. I still got to get back to streaming that. I did an episode, like a streaming episode for you guys, like a few weeks back. I do want to get back to that. I just want to like coordinate a few things, maybe get some of the guys on it too. And yeah, you can find me like on here on the Cardboard Cave podcast and on our Facebook page because now I can finally post again. So if you guys have any questions or anything you guys want to like say or interact with us, you can always find us there.
Awesome. JP.
You can find me here in the Cardboard Cave every Saturday here at 9:30. We might be changing the
time
you know,
slot.
the time slot and maybe
Yeah.
maybe the day. You know, it's been a bit hectic these few weeks. You could also find Cardboard Cave in every podcast format.
Yep.
Every single one. You just look it up. And Orengo, where can they find you?
Oh, nice. You can find me in the Movie Guy podcast. You can find me in my podcast, Cinemas podcast, which is beyond like on the page of the Movie Guy podcast. On Wednesday, past Wednesday, we talked about this movie called Sound of Metal. And on Monday, we're going to be talking about Nomadland and Godzilla versus Kong. Because, you know, I want to talk about like an artsy movie, and then I'm going to be talking about a big, dumb kaiju film. Because why not, man? It'll be fun. And you can also find me here at the Cardboard Cave with all these beautiful people. And finally, you can find me at 15 Every Sport in the Cine Nerds podcast. They do twice a month. The next one is going to be, I think, next weekend. So look out for that. And basically, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope you had fun with us talking about all these beautiful Strix Savings cards. Hopefully, by next week, they'll spoil the stupid commander cards so I can talk about the commander cards and then moan because I'm pretty sure all the cards will be horrible. But, you know, it'll be fun anyway. So see you guys in the next one.
You guys.
Bye.
See ya.